Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast. Hopefully my mic sounds okay. My mic sound okay? Good. All right.
Yep.
Welcome to the stream. There's been issues today. We'll talk about that in a moment. There's always issues, but today there was more issues. Anyway, welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast. Pop culture in the dark for some people. Apparently someone was telling me that that's not an accurate name because sometimes they watch it in the daytime or they're watching in another country and it's not dark yet. So maybe I'll have to change the name, the tagline to something else. Anyway, welcome to the stream. We have a lot of fun topics today. I think we're going to keep it very light, which I think is good. It's been quite annoying on social media over the last few days. So we got some fun stuff to look at. Fantastic Four clips to check out. What else did I have in the things? There's a Disney story that's really funny. We'll talk about that. Frank Grillo threw some shade at Russo brothers and Marvel again. And we're going to talk about Peacemaker. Those are the main topics tonight. And then we've got a fun list to do at the end. So essentially a chill stream. I think it's going to be a fun stream. Hopefully no drama. We have a lot of people in the chat hanging out. So good to see everybody. Crazy Joe's here. What's up, Joe? I know. Wait, I think you friended me on Discord, but you have not joined the Discord yet. So if you want to join the Discord or you want the link, just let me know. I'll send it over. One or the other, whichever you like. If you want to chat with us tonight. If not, it's fine. You can hang out in the audience and cheer from the audience if you'd like to do that. Hold on for 1 second. Look over here. So yeah, last night was awful. Wasn't able to get online. And then today we had a tsunami, storm, hurricane, typhoon here around the house. Like literally so much rain. Stop the camera over there. So much rain that we had flooding in the area, like literal flooding. We couldn't even get deliveries to the house because people couldn't get around. If you like checked anywhere on the East Coast where I'm at, like in Virginia or in North Carolina in this area, massive amounts of flooding if you're close to the coastline. So pretty bad. I wasn't sure I was like, am I even going to have the internet tonight? Am I going to have power tonight? I don't know. Hopefully I did. So Joe did email me. So Joe, I will respond through email. I'll try and get you onto the Discord though, because that's where everybody gets the link. I used to send it on Twitter, but Twitter's not as reliable. So we just kind of stuck with Discord. You might see my cat around. We had to take her to the kitty cat ER on Friday. So she's okay-ish now. Like she's getting better, but she's kind of running around. So she might jump in front of me at some point. So let me switch accounts here. And I will send the link over to you. Let's see. Invite people. How do I do this anymore? I don't remember because I haven't done it in like 3 weeks, I feel like. What does your hat say, Darren, by the way?
It's Stitch.
Okay. I thought that's what it was. I wasn't sure, though. I was like, wait, am I reading that right? So, all right, I'm going to send you the link, Joe. Feel free to jump in with us if you'd like. I'm not sure who's going to show up tonight, so we'll see.
I have a question for everyone here. Mm-hmm. What was a more important invention than the first telephone?
I mean, is there an actual answer to this, or is it like subjective?
There's an answer, yeah.
Than the first telephone?
Electricity?
Fire?
The second one.
Oh my God. Jesus. Dad joke. I should have known. Anyway, in the house tonight, of course, we have Darren, we have 3Dub. Thank you both for being here. I went live earlier again just to gauge where everybody's at in the chat because a lot of people said they appreciated it slightly earlier. So what I might do is I might compromise and start doing 11 instead of like 11:30, doing it at 11 instead of 10:30, but we'll see. We'll see where it runs off to, because I know not a lot of people have the ability to jump on right away. By the way, I will be dropping the link soon, but I have some official I'm Bored merch. So the shop will be opening. I'm getting rid of Teespring, which is the one I've had for years, but it's a really, really bad company. People emailed me where they've ordered merchandise from my Teespring store and it never gets to them. And I contact Teespring and they never write me back. So I went through and I ordered some proofs from Teespring to see if I would get them as well. And they never came. So it's on their Reddit, like if you go in their Reddit and you like try to talk to someone there, they'll be like, oh no, we're on top of things, we're taking care of stuff, whatever, and then nothing ever happens. And some people are like, yeah, I got my t-shirts, and other people are like, no, I didn't get anything. So essentially I'm moving over to another company. Let's see. I might drop the link tonight. Let's see. Let's see here. I'll log in. See if there's an easy way to send a link on here. But it's, I think, I want to say that it is the company that was created by Philip DeFranco, but I don't know if that's for sure.
Oh,
I don't know.
Two people have joined.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Let's see. Trying to see. Hold on for a second. No, close that. Close it. Let's bring the people in first while we do this, so we can say hi to everybody. We got Crazy Joe here with us. Back again. Good to see you. And Ronan has jumped in.
Yo.
There he is.
Good to see you, Ronan.
Good buddy.
Yeah, if you're on the East Coast, in the middle of the East Coast, I don't know how far up the East Coast it goes, but we are rained out today. It's just bad. Like really, really, really bad. So hopefully drier over there for Ronan than it is for us over here. So
yeah, still hot as hell here, but we're getting there. It's the turn of the seasons.
Let's see. Go back into the app here. So I ordered this proof for my merch like 4 days ago, and it got here already. So I feel like it's a better company already. Let's see. Log in. What's everybody up to, by the way, while I do this? Everybody good? Good day?
Yeah.
Not a good day?
Good. Yeah.
Sleeping water was a little fucked, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I have no idea how to join the Discord. I downloaded Discord again the other night after we talked, and I don't know what to do with it.
It's a learning curve. I actually took forever to get the Discord up and running because I didn't want to deal with all the process of doing it. So I watched like 50 YouTube videos on like best practices for Discording and like making sure it's like age confirming and all that stuff so that accounts are confirmed to be old enough to be there, because apparently, and I don't know, some people can speak to this because I'm not in a ton of Discord channels, but apparently there's an issue with like people underage getting onto Discord and like getting in bad situations. And I was like, I don't want to deal with that, which is what was one of the reasons I didn't want to even make a Discord to begin with, because I was like, I don't want to deal with that. But I managed to get all that corrected. I have a bot in there moderating for any kind of weird shit, so that's good. Yeah, so with Discord, you just have to join the servers. Matter of fact, I will drop the link now because I think I actually think I forgot to pin it. Let me double check.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Once you click the link, you just basically say join. Just hit join.
So let's do this. We're gonna post the link.
So I know I used to do a lot of videos with. They don't really do videos anymore, but I used to do videos with a channel called Poindexter Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
we know him.
The Enosh who ran that channel, he had a Discord, and he would say like, "Oh yeah, when you go into the Discord, there's several rooms, and Cyborg from DC Comics is the bot moderator," and I just couldn't get away from Cyborg. Like, I couldn't figure out how to get to the other rooms. And I'm like, I eventually gave up. I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I left. So I haven't tried it again since then. So, but I'll try today.
Yeah, you give it a shot. If you have any trouble, we can try and talk you through it here. 3Dub's been in a lot of Discord, so I'm sure he knows a ton about it. All right. So, yeah, fourth wall is where the merch is. Right now, this is the first one. But let me get a link for everybody here. And let's see.
As Lone Wolf said, it is kind of easier to do on mobile too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's basically just it's simple. Like basically, the computer is you have to jump through a little bit of hoops.
Right.
Whereas mobile just directly sends you to it.
All right, so I'm going to drop the link for the shirt. There's going to be a proper like link to the channel and everything, but I know some people asked me earlier because I had it on when I was chatting with Dane earlier. Some people asked me about it, so I'm going to drop the link to it if you guys want to get the shirt to like wear the merch around. There's going to be a ton of like special designs and stuff in the shop. a lot of stuff that I've been working on here that I'll try and do. So we'll definitely get that. Here comes my cat. Where are you going?
You look tired, Ronan.
It's my sleeping schedule was fucked, man. Like I thought I had fixed it, and then I went down this rabbit hole earlier yesterday, and I was just like, I couldn't stop watching these like set of videos and whatnot. And I was like, God damn it.
Which ones?
I've been on a binge right now of just watching a bunch of Tony Gilroy and Dan Gilroy interviews talking about Andor in the process of these past few months since Andor won the Emmy, and I was just like, I want to know more. What don't I know about the show? And
Right.
It's been fascinating to learn more about the show, what they went through, how much it changed, how much it evolved, and how much stuff was rewritten, how much stuff was planned.
I would have loved to have seen what the show would have looked like if they would have been given like a proper like 3 or 4 seasons to really like do the story they wanted to do.
The initial plan was that season 2, since it spans 4 years, that we would have gone at least 4 more seasons of television. But and here and then, like, yeah, that's rad, and I'd be down for it. I would commit. But then they spoke about like, listen, we're old. Diego knows he's old.
Right.
He'd be 10 years deep into this, and like he's not gonna look the same if he keeps going down this route. And and Tony said like he has
a prequel.
He said he was panicking during season 1. He was just like, how the fuck am I gonna do this?
Yeah.
And he said, like, I think in hindsight, it served them better for season 2 because they cut out a lot of what people would consider as filler or stuff that isn't necessary, and it just feels like they're just throwing.
I still think I would have appreciated like 1 more season, like maybe 2 and then 3, and then that was it. Like I feel
love
like
how tight it is.
Yeah, it's great though.
Yeah.
I'm like the only Star Wars fan I think on the planet who just doesn't like Andor.
No, my partner doesn't like it either.
It's so
here.
It was one of those things where like the first few episodes didn't rope them in, and so once that was established, that was it. There was no.
I bailed in season 1. Yeah. I was like, I can't do this. I bailed halfway through, and then people kept telling me how great it was, and I forced myself to. I've seen every episode. I forced myself, and out of every episode, I enjoyed 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I want to like it so badly, like because I keep hearing people praise it, and for me personally, like I know some people like to be contrarians and be like, if somebody likes something, be like, well, I didn't like that. I'm the opposite because like when I don't like something, I feel like I'm missing out. Like I hear all my like fellow fans digging this thing, and I'm like. I want that too, and it bugs me that I can't get it.
I think it's like a fantastic piece of art, but like an art that I just don't necessarily fully enjoy as much as others. Like I liked season 1, but I like if it vanished, I would never be like no, like I'm not like crying that it's lost. Again, season 2 I heard is incredible, but I've kind of come to this realization recently where it's like life is short. There's going to be so many movies and TV shows I don't get to watch in this lifetime. Let me try and get to the ones I really want to first, and then I can make my way.
We'll come back to that. It's weird because like this, like people have been asking why you like this show, like because people kept saying like it's slow, like it's not doing much, and I'm like that's the point. It's something that we're not used to at Star Wars, and like again, I'm not gonna give away stuff, but like there's a moment where I care for a bellhop boy in season 2, and if Eric, if you've seen the season, you know what I'm talking about. But like there's a moment that I'm like I care about that individual so badly, and that's all I know about them. They're just a bellhop in this world. And
I think there's and I hate to say this because I've said it about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other shows before in the past. There's a slowness to the first season that you have to get through because it does really build what the show is. Season 2 for Andor, I think if you're someone that enjoys more like a faster pace, season 2 is a much better season for like a faster pace. But I still think that like if you aren't happy with where the show was in the first season, you're just not going to be into it. And I know a lot of people that tried and they just couldn't do it, and that's fine. Emerald Jade here. I want to say the same Discord server. Yeah, it's the same. It's my Discord for my 2 channels, so it's the same one. I'm not gonna. It reminds me of like when people get on Facebook and they like make 1 million profiles because they can't remember how to log into theirs, and it's like you see all these old people with like 5,000 pages.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm only gonna have one Discord. It's like I'm not gonna do another one. I mean, I might do another one like later on for other things, but for the channels, it's just the one Discord. So
yeah. Also, Highlands. Sorry, I missed the stream. I was just
haven't
knocked
seen
out.
Skeleton Crew? So good. I love Skeleton Crew.
It's fun.
Skeleton Crew is one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
My favorite Star Wars project, I think, of all time.
Really?
I connect. Like, I've always been very casual Star Wars, so like watching that week to week with my friends talking about, like, I had such a good time. Yeah. And I wish it did better because that's such a good introduction to Star Wars.
Crew to me felt so 80s and 90s. Like it just felt like something from that era, you know.
Yeah.
For me personally, like
oh no, here we go through that.
I wish I didn't see Rogue One, because if I didn't see Rogue One, I might enjoy a little bit more.
Wait, what do you mean? Like you in general, or
in general? If I didn't see Rogue One, I might enjoy Andor a little bit more.
I am pretty sure that 3Dub has had this conversation with a lot of you already about how he feels.
I hate.
You have a prequel problem, I think.
Yes. I hate knowing what's going to happen to the characters because there's an end. There's an end to their story, and I don't like that. Basically, you can't have 5 seasons with the character. Because
that's the magic, dude. Like I remember, like Eric, you know what I'm talking about. But let's say there's a moment in season 2 when 2 individuals have to escape a building, and it's time crunch. That if they don't escape now, they're gonna get captured and they'll get killed.
Right.
And I know the fates of those 2 characters. And as I was watching the sequence happening, I was like, I'm invested. I care. I hope nothing wrong with it, but I'm like, but I know what happens.
You know what would break some people's brains if we had a prequel series where a character that lives later on dies in the prequel series, like dies. And they're like, what?
And I would argue that Andor is better than Rogue One. I like Rogue One a lot, but Andor is way better than
Rogue One is one of my favorite Star Wars movies, but I kind of rate the shows and the movies separately for me in my head. So it categorizes differently.
One that kind of like did the opposite of what Rogue One did was Rebels.
Oh, Rebels.
Where the lead character is seemingly dead and he shows back up.
Yeah, well, I don't mean a fake out though. I mean like literally just kill the person. Like they're gone forever.
No. I mean like that's
like. Could you imagine if they killed off like Chewbacca in a TV show, and then you're like,
wait a minute, what?
That's kind of like when I think
later on it's a clone or something.
I mean, didn't we all have that experience when we went to see Inglourious Bastards? Like, I don't think anybody expected them to kill Hitler. You're like, what? Did they just kill Hitler?
Oh, Inglourious Bastards, yeah.
Well, they kind of do.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
They kind of do it interesting in like Better Call Saul, because like, it's like it is a prequel, but you don't necessarily know where he ends at the end of Breaking Bad. So they start in the past, they make their way to the future, and then they go further. And it's like, oh my gosh, we're caught up, and now we're moving forward. Okay, this is insane.
I don't even know if you could be technically behind on Star Wars because the chronology of it is like all over the place. So I mean, it's just kind of like
you're either fast forward or
no shade. That I just know how you'd be.
Clone Wars does that, Darren. Like when you get to the last episodes of Clone Wars, like there's a moment that like, oh, we're caught up with a certain movie, but then we're going, we're past the movie. What the hell? What does this mean? and
so speaking of movies and TV shows, apparently Penguin won some awards on Sunday.
I was going to bring that up.
So I think remind me of some of them. I know that Kristen Milioti won. Won. Was there anybody else that won anything? Or was
I think Mick got music.
Colin didn't win anything, though.
Colin is the big one, and I was going to bring this up actually, like when you're talking about Andor, because this is honestly one of the worst like reactions I've seen out of a loss, like at an award show in a while. Like obviously there's always some like fandom wars where it's like, I wish it was this thing.
Yeah.
But just the like temper tantrums I'm seeing online, especially some from like Severance of all shows, is so strange. Like you have people being like, you just don't understand. The show is too smart for you. When it won 9 Emmys,
right?
It did extremely well. But since it wasn't a sweep, people are like, the audacity. And that's so funny to me because I think the one people are complaining about is like Adam Scott in Severance. He didn't win for Best Lead Actor, which I understand. Adam Scott did an incredible job, but I'm more upset about like Colin Farrell because I think Colin, like as good as Adam Scott is.
Crazy thing is that I read here that she's not going to come back in Batman Part 2.
And that was announced the day of the awards.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so help me out here because I know, Ronan, you are a big fan of like this universe, this Bat universe or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a problem, right? I mean, she's massively popular in this movie. If she were going to be in this movie after winning a massive award, I feel like that would be, they would like run the movie on that. Like that would be something like Emmy Award winner, you know, and like those kinds of things. I feel like this is a problem a little bit.
Well,
I have a theory.
Maybe not.
From what I heard, and what Matt Reeves was being just hashed about for the whole time in the carpet was just like that most of the script had been worked out by the time the show was coming out.
Right.
And maybe they didn't know how popular she was going to be and all that stuff. But then you look at it and like, yeah, I'm bummed out she's not going to be in the movie. But I'm glad, without spoilers, I'm glad she's not dead at the end of Penguin. And I'm glad that like the way it ends and the last thing we see of her is that, ooh, there's potential where she can do more with somebody else in this universe. And you know, and they've hinted at this. There's another character that might not be in the movie. And it's like, well, what if secretly, and Darren knows where I'm going with this, secretly they're doing another movie or another TV show. And it's like, what happens when two forces collide and maybe decide to team up together, and they're just like the mayhem that would come about all that stuff. Darren, please elaborate on
I've had the same thought, the same you know, tinfoil hat theory where it's like, okay, she's not in Batman Part 2, neither is the rumored Zoe Kravitz in Batman Part 2. They're, from my memory, sisters in this continuity. The end of the Penguin teases them meeting up. What if we're getting a Catwoman movie instead? Or like a Catwoman series, or
right.
You know, special. And like, out of all the characters in this universe, like, I could see it. Like, I could definitely see these two characters holding their own project. Because if not, it doesn't really make sense to me not to include at least Catwoman. Like, she's arguably the co-lead of the Batman Part 1. So it's like,
Joe, we I don't think we talked about it since you joined us last time, but did you watch Penguin, or were you a fan of the Batman movie? Thoughts on that?
The Batman's like Andor for me. I've tried 3 times. I did not like the movie. I like the casting. I like the music. Michael Giacchino's score is amazing. I found the film to be very, very boring. I didn't like that basically they turned the Riddler into Hush. I'm like, that's not the Riddler, that's Hush. But I don't know. It didn't work for me. But as a result, I didn't want to watch the Penguin, and I had no interest in the Penguin. Right. And then Warner Brothers sent me the complete series on Blu-ray to review, and I'm like, well, I guess I got to watch this, and I loved it.
Right.
So
you didn't like the movie, but you liked the show.
Exactly. Right. I loved the show, hated the movie, and I'm kind of going into Batman 2 not knowing what to think at this point.
I'm telling you, man, if they do, because again, he said there's a big detective story. It is literally show that simple because 4 years. That'd be nice.
Batman, TV show people asked for the last 4 years. Yeah,
I will. It is right there on the walls, literally and figuratively. I'm like, there is no better vibe and scenario to do the Court of Owls story than what Matt Reeves was doing with his detective stuff. Like the notion that like, okay, you know, you try to inspire people through fear, but you see how the repercussions of that. It's like, no, I have to be more than that. I have to do it another way. And you see how people, you know, again, to me, the most recent beautiful thing I've seen in fiction was him being a firefighter dressed as a bat, leading people outside, you know, through a flood. And the notion that like, okay, you're trying to find out who you are as a vigilante, but then you're like, wait, what city am I fighting for? And, you know, again, all I need to hear someone saying, they're watching, the owls are watching. And like, that is a Zodiac on crack. That is just perfect for Reeves' vibe and tone.
It'd be interesting to finally see them done. Like, I'm not going to say right, but like on a larger scale, because we did like Gotham, and we did Gotham Knights the game and Gotham Knights the show, and like I like a lot of those, but it is also just like on a global scale, on a big scale, and what you could do like in the cinema. I think that could be. I don't think it is. I don't think they're going that direction, but like it could be really, really cool.
Short Car says Reeves also said they're currently discussing a second season of Penguin. Maybe she'll be. I actually think that if she's going to show up anywhere, that's probably where we're going to see her again. But it says here, bad news, Bat fans. Or anyway, the quote is, "But we'll see." I mean, she's incredible. So clearly, very, very happy with her performance, and as they should be. I mean, she was one of the best parts of the show, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably stole the show, in my opinion. I love what Colin did. I love, but then. It's what was that episode? I had the hang woman or whatever. The episode where it's focused on her. I was just like, fuck.
I kind of feel about this the same way I feel about like, you always hear people complain about the Star Wars sequels, saying how could they not put Luke and Leia and Han together in a scene? How could they not have a scene together? And I kept saying, because that's not how you write a story. You don't like come up with a scene and backtrack the story like to fit the scene. Like, it's gotta, if the scene doesn't fit the story you're telling. So if the story they're telling doesn't involve her character, then she shouldn't be there. Like, I mean, is she a great character? Yes. But if the story Matt Reeves has in mind doesn't involve her, she shouldn't be shoehorned into it.
I'm just surprised the studio didn't sort of mandate it, is what I was saying. Like the fact that that she's done so well. I'm surprised they didn't come in and say she has to be in the movie because we want to put her on the posters and stuff like that.
I think really in this situation, Matt Reeves has full control about like what he wants to do.
I feel like that's the vibe that's happening here. So what we know about Batman 2 so far is the filming starts in April 2026. Bruce Wayne is finding it very hard to be Batman. You don't say. Takes Batman in a direction never done before in this way. I have no idea what that means. Any thoughts on that one? Like,
I mean,
you can't use Joker that easily because as much as I love him, that horse has been played up and down with carnivals. Yeah, like I'm looking at it now and I'm like, again, the only thing I think of, sure, Court of Owls was adapted in Gotham and in video games, but dare I say, and I say this with love to Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, who created the storyline. I'm like, it's not that well known. Like, only if you hear it through the grapevines, they're like, oh, there's this thing about like the Court of Owls and like how you play that mentally of like a bat and an owl, a vigilante and a underground city.
It makes me think of Owlman when they bring that up every time. I'm like, Owlman,
yeah. Like I mean. The fact that how much they've gone to length to protect the script and like keeping a hush hush, no pun intended. I'm really, really hoping that like these statements deliver on that.
Yeah,
I really hope. And this day and age where social media is going off the wazoo, it's like I hope it delivers on that.
It says here another murder. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Darren.
No, I was just gonna say like that statement is the same thing they said over on like the final season of Superman Lois. Like that was something that they were teasing us then, and that like was much easier to theorize about because it was the end of a series. It was the final season.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you could do anything, and they did. They did the identity thing. They had him lose his powers. They had him like they did all these various things with him that he had never done before. This is Project 2, so I have no idea where we're going with this. Like, you can't have it be like he reveals himself as Batman because it's like, well, that wouldn't make no sense.
I do have one question when we get to the end of this thing here that I'm going to ask everybody before we move on. 3Dub, what were you going to say?
I was going to say I kind of have an iconic answer for Batman 2 as the main villain, Two-Face, which is kind of ironic because Batman 2.
Yeah, I don't know if Two-Face could carry a whole movie though. That's my only.
Well, he kind of did. He had to team up though.
Well, that's what I mean is I don't know if him by himself is enough to like. He's a good short story villain. I don't know if he could be a long form villain. I don't know.
I thought the same thing with Penguin, but then we also had Batman Returns. So
but the Penguin hasn't. Well, I guess he has. Yeah.
So it's another murder mystery digging deeper into corruption. I mean, that's kind of the deal with this Batman is he's like a street brawler detective character. So that doesn't really surprise me. A Penguin appears in 5 to 6 scenes in the movie. That's a lot of scenes for Penguin to appear in.
Yeah, that's like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Sophia Falcone will not appear and Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson believe it will top the first film. So, which for Joe, that's not very hard because he didn't like the first film. So,
at least mention her. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Just mention me like how's Sophia doing, and it's just like that's all I need. Hey Jay,
I did.
What's up? I didn't like the first film either.
You know what?
that is canon.
And I own it over there on 4K. So what's my excuse?
You know what one of my greatest online regrets is? I interviewed Matt Reeves once. It was he Let Me In. His remake of Let the Right One In, Let Me In. Phenomenal movie, by the way. Was coming out on Blu-ray, and I managed to get an interview with him. And it was during a snowstorm here in Pennsylvania. And midway through our interview, and he was really giving me some good stuff. We lost all power, and the entire recording was wiped out.
Oh man.
See, when you were leading into that story, I thought you were saying it was your regret that you interviewed Matt Reeves. I was like, damn, okay.
No, he was great. He was. There's somebody I'll never get on an interview ever again.
Yeah.
Well, you have the memory of it burned up here, so.
Yeah.
So my question was going to be, let me click on this, Darren. My question was going to be, do you think we're going to get a third movie? And I hate to say that because I know the second one isn't even out yet, but a lot of people are saying this is probably it, that he's not going to do a third film because of how long it took for this one to come out. Is there any concerns? This is obviously a huge speculatory question. Is there any concern on them putting out a third?
All I can say is I hope that there's a third one. I'm not like holding my breath on it, but I would hope.
I guess it depends who you ask, right? Because if you ask someone who says they're going to merge, right, you'd be like, well, of course they're going to get a third. If they stay solo, it could go either direction. I honestly don't see the reason you let Matt Reeves continue to cook if you're not going to just let him do his whole vision. You know what I mean? Like, why go through all the trouble into doing part 2? And I know not everything is about a whole universe, right? Like, you can't just do this and it be done and that be the story. You can do that, obviously. But he has obviously plans for at least a trilogy and multiple other TV shows and all these things. And it's like, why even let him do 2 if you're not going to let him do the whole thing, in my mind? So I think yes, especially if 2 is financially received well. If it makes a lot of money, they're going to be like, well, yeah, give us another one. So
well, I mean, they tried to give us another one with Joker, and that didn't work.
Yes, but there is a big difference between
that one was made to not work. There's a difference.
Yeah, Joker 2 is a political musical drama. I know, buddy.
It's been a while since a Batman movie hasn't been financially profitable, so I feel like they've
still COVID.
At least learned their lessons in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this and Joker were the only things in that time that made DC really any sort of bank, and they were the 2 things non-DC EU connected. So
yeah, now they have the benefit of, one, being out of that COVID era a little bit, they can get out of that a little bit, and 2, this came out where DC, I'd argue, was at an all-time low. Like, people were not fucking with the DC EU or the DC brand at the time. Was it 2021?
So this came out in 22. I'd say they were about to enter their all-time low.
Well, true, but I just mean in this general facility, the DCU is basically dead at this point. People weren't.
The euphoria from Aquaman had worn off by now.
It's people weren't really vibing with it, and now after the success of Superman and hopefully a bunch of other Supergirl, hopefully at this point, I don't know how that does, but hopefully DC brand will be better as well, and people will be more willing to jump into this.
And I hope they keep doubling down on the whole thing. Listen, we'll do the DCU, which is the main continuity, but we want to also keep another stage open for anybody who wants to tell a good story that isn't beholden to keeping your style, but having fit in the world. And it's the DCL's world. This is again the whole thing of will he do a 3? I hope he does, but if he doesn't, there's no rules. You don't have to do a trilogy. If you only do 2 movies and you do 2 shows, that's
good movies.
Year 1 and year 2.
Yeah, repurpose that. I know there's always been talks going around about that Arkham series, but make a version of that for that universe. You can have that be your second installment. it could work. Like whether they could do it in DCU and have that be your way to build out your Batman rogues, you could do it that way. Or if you want to go the more, I hate the way this term's being abused, but if you want to go the more grounded, I hate saying that now, but if you want to go with that more approach to it, then it can fit in Pattinson's world just fine.
I think the big sorry, I was just gonna say, I think the big thing to remember is you never know what to expect. Like you really never know what to expect, because we had 3 movies in recent years that made $1 billion at the box office and then had sequels that bombed. And that was Captain Marvel, Aquaman, and the Joker. So like I would think anyone would have thought Marvel's Joker 2 and Aquaman 2 were really safe bets. But you just don't know.
Well, I mean, like what I said before, when one of those movies is intentionally structured to fail, then that one kind of writes itself.
I don't agree with that though. Like I still don't understand why Joker 2 failed, quite honestly.
So well, Todd Phillips didn't want to make the second movie, and they kept essentially saying, hey, we'll give you this amount of money, and then he finally said, all right, I'll do it. And it was kind of made as him giving them the middle finger. It was like, all right,
I don't agree with that.
This movie,
The Matrix Resurrection.
That's another one.
I don't agree with that. I watched all the special features on the Joker 2 4K disc, and that movie was made with so much love. Like they really were putting their all into that film. Like I do not believe the narrative that he wanted that to fail. I think he thought he had something really special on his hands.
Fair enough.
The teaser was really good. The whole thing with the lipstick on the glass and whatnot, and like.
So I've heard people that love the movie. So I mean, and then it didn't work for me personally. I was very not into it, but a lot of people have defended the movie, and there's pieces of art that I don't understand sometimes, and I'm just like, I don't get it, and I move on or whatever. But I've actually heard several people defend Joker 2. So,
I really liked it. Like I didn't love it. Like I like the first one better, but I think it's a good companion piece. Like everything that I loved about the first movie carried on into that. In fact, I think I liked this first movie better after I saw the second movie, because some of the reveals we had in the second movie, I think, strengthened the original movie.
See, I kind of knew that I wasn't going to connect with the second movie even going into it, because I didn't like the first movie that much. I get it has its fans. I'm just not one of them. So looking at the second movie, I kind of just looked at it and said, okay, this is a thing you're being made, but also there were a lot of reasons why, that played into the not so much why it ended up bombing as hard as it did, but in such heavy contrast to the first movie, because that first movie came out when the genre was arguably at an all-time high, because you had $3 billion Marvel films that year. So, like the genre was at an all-time high. It came out in a lightning in a bottle time period, but also it was so polarizing when it came out. You had people loving it, people hating it, and people went to see it just so they could join in the conversation. And then regardless of what one side or the other they took, they still went and monetarily supported it. And I think part of what hurt the second movie financially is when you take,
the budget.
The budget was part of what hurt it, but when you mix two genres, you have courtroom drama and musical. Courtroom dramas aren't exactly known for being high earners. The highest earning one is A Few Good Men, which was in the 600 millions range, which is nowhere near the first Joker's billion. But also musicals, which, granted, there are people that love musicals, as we've seen. There are a number of musicals that have made in the billions. But there's also a number of audience members that are turned off by that. And when you combine those two genres, that's never been done before.
I also don't think they were honest about the musical element. I think they should have leaned in harder to that.
And what was funny is whenever it got announced that Lady Gaga was coming on to play Lee, as they called her in the movie, people were saying, oh man, is she going to get a big chunk of the budget for this? Is that why it's so high? She really didn't get a lot of that budget.
No. And they don't, no offense, Joe, please, don't let anything I'm about to say affect your opinion on it. I don't think it's a good musical either. I don't
I agree with that, actually. I think the weakest part is the musical numbers should have been bigger. They should have been grander. If you're going to make a musical, dude, go all out.
Yeah.
Make it a musical.
Joker's wild.
No, 100%.
And even then, there's only three music numbers in the movie, right?
And I heard, as someone who hasn't seen the movie, which you know what?
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen again.
Wow, that's actually surprising to me, to be honest.
I don't blame him at all.
It's weird because I dug the first one, but I remember again it has to do with like what was happening with like watch if someone dressed up as a clown and goes there. That I was like I don't want to roll the dice twice, but like this talk makes me want to consider watching it. But I kept hearing that like some of the cool shots and moments from the trailers. They're not in the movie.
They're not in the movie. Yeah, it's another one with the trailer.
Yeah, that happens a lot, unfortunately.
And the transitions from the scenes to the musical in the movie
were
felt
rough.
really rough. I'm
it was like
this
music video elements.
As someone who enjoys musical, I'm like, this pulls me out.
Really. I want to apologize. I feel I derailed the whole stream and got us.
Oh no,
it's okay. That happens a lot.
You're good.
But I think,
and I'm not upset either. You know, like we disagree. It's fine. We just have different opinions and we just have different takes on things.
So I want to talk a little bit about this before we jump into some of the other bigger topics, just briefly. So we talked a little bit about a AI story last week about some stuff that was happening. It looks like the AI lawsuits are continuing. So Disney, Warner Brothers Discovery, NBC Universal have filed a joint lawsuit against Chinese AI company Minimax over willful and brazen copyright infringement. The company is reportedly valued at $4 billion. And the joint statement was, we support innovation that enhances human creativity while protecting the contributions of countless creators in the entire creative industry. The studio said in a statement, a response approach to AI innovation is critical, and today's lawsuit against Minimax again demonstrates our shared commitment to holding accountable those who violate copyright laws wherever they may be based. So a couple things here. I don't know what they're going to be able to do, like in terms of the company that's based in China. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. They might be able to prevent people outside of China from using the services, but I don't know what they're going to be able to do in China with this in terms of that. But there's a little bit of weirdness for me, considering that all of these companies like Warner Brothers and Disney or whatever, they're also using AI, and they're using unethical forms of AI too in some of their stuff without giving people proper permissions or being honest with people viewing it. And I know, Joe, we talked about this before because we talked about the Sphere thing last week or whatever, but let me just read for you what they're saying here, because there is a little bit more. So the suit centers around Minimax's service Hailu AI, which is generating downloadable images and up to 5-minute videos of copyrighted characters such as Darth Vader, Minions, Wonder Woman, etc., without authorization. It's alleged that Minimax uses characters in its marketing and branding, which is another big problem, promoting itself as Hollywood studio in your pocket, make your own movies and TV shows with these characters that can be like generated directly from the studios. Now, I agreed with you that I think the Sphere experience is something that you can't really replicate anywhere else. And so that's a unique situation. I think for me personally, and I want everybody else to sort of talk about this if you have an opinion as well, like taking someone else's copyrighted material and then selling your product with that copyrighted material in it without actual permission. I think this is where we get into that situation where I have an issue with it, not only ethically because of the art portion of it, but legally there's an issue here as well, right? I mean, I feel like this one's a bit more, this one makes more sense to me than the Wizard of Oz thing, right?
I agree with that.
Anybody else have any thoughts on it? Like, at all? I'm just curious because this is going to be something we're going to see a lot of, I think, over the next few years.
When you're talking about Wizard of Oz, do you mean when they used AI to kind of make it so that it fits the Sphere?
Yeah, but we were saying that like the ethical aspects of that, we can argue about like the environmental impacts, but ultimately you can't, that's not somebody making it at their house and selling it on YouTube, because you can't really view it anywhere but that one place, and the studio has control over it, so that's a different situation. Whereas this is another company that's making it so you can make it on your phone and your tablets and stuff like that. That's the difference.
It's a funky thing with AI just because when this starts bleeding into stuff that people are passionate about and do their own takes on it without AI, they just get bundled in together, and then everybody goes down. Like this, I wouldn't be surprised if this starts affecting people using these IPs and tell their own like creative stuff, like fan fiction or like fan films, and how much that will start, hemorrhaging on people and being like, well, you can't do your fan film anymore because AI started fucking with our toys. It's funky. It's with AI, it's funky, man. It's ever changing. I'm surprised because I for sure thought Disney and Warner were going to be some of the big companies are gonna have their hands in the cookie jar and be like, yeah, we want AI, we want that in our pockets. It's just like, no, don't F with our stuff. And yeah, it's weird.
It's even more funny with that in hindsight after you look at the fact that a number of people on the Marvel side, when it came out that they had been using AI for those scripts, and then you see Disney taking the turnaround approach of like, oh, like we don't want this. So it's just kind of funny how that table turned.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking is like the irony of it. I mean, the only difference is that Disney owns their property, so they're doing it themselves. But still, the point is that like they're not doing it for an ethical reason, which is why I don't necessarily know how I feel about it in general. The only real upside is that it might start requiring companies to do ethical ways of like getting AI to work, but that's still tough because we're talking about a company based in China.
See, I don't even know if I would use that term of ethical reason. Like you can have, like ethics behind your decision, or you cannot have ethics behind your decision. But something like this, I don't think you go into it with any sort of ethical intent.
Well, what I'm saying is if you are making a movie and an actor signs off on you using their voice after production and saying, hey, you can AI my voice to fill in dialogue gaps or something like that, to me, that's an ethical way of using it because you're getting consent before you're using the person's voice. So that's what I mean when I say ethical.
Right. As like a method that's ethics, yeah, but people, at least not that I can think of, are going into it like with the
companies are not. Absolutely, 100%. You're right about that.
That's what I'm getting at.
It's all about the money.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, for me, the only real compromise I'm willing to make is that at least the people, for example, on YouTube now, I noticed this when I logged in today to do the streams, you can now turn off AI generation of your videos. Like when I'm doing a live stream, it used to automatically generate like, this is what this video is about as soon as somebody would log in. Now you can turn that off. So that's good because I don't want to necessarily contribute to that. I think that's something that you should be able to choose. You should consent to that when it comes to AI. And that one little thing to me was a big deal because I complained about it like 2 months ago. Maybe it was even sooner than that, where I was like, I don't want people and YouTube forcing us to use AI components to our videos and our content if we don't want to. And so they gave us an option to turn it off. So guess what? It's off, and I'm going to leave it off. I'm not turning it on because I don't want it on my content, right? Yep. So that's my one compromise is that I need more ethics in that. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some Disney stuff, but before we do that, I do want to bring this up here. So the Russo brothers paid tribute to Robert Redford. I didn't realize that he had passed away until this afternoon when I was on stream with Dane earlier, and he mentioned, I was like, wow, because the news cycle is so cluttered with garbage at this moment, like I didn't even see this had happened. So Russo brothers here said, we're deeply saddened by the passing of the incomparable Robert Redford, a true legend whose acting and directing inspired us throughout our careers. There are very few people who have impacted modern storytelling as significantly as Robert, and we are deeply grateful in our time with him. So RIP to Robert Redford, somebody that I knew watching growing up, like in so many things that I remember from, my childhood and on. So yeah, it was sad. I didn't even notice it, and I feel bad because that was something that I would have mentioned earlier. Like I would have done like a tweet out about it or something and mentioned it. But I just, again, the news cycle has been so absolutely cluttered.
And now I want to go back and rewatch The Natural.
Oh,
I saw clips flying around about it. Yeah, I want to go watch.
I love that movie to bits.
I want to watch All the President's Men or 3 Days After Condor. Like, and I can tell people because I was sad. I literally saw when it hit the waves, and I'm like, God damn it! I just tell people, go watch these movies. Yes, Winter Soldier's cool. Yes, Endgame is cool, but like, go watch the movies. Like, especially like, you look at those. For me, they still hold up. Like the first classic movie I remember seeing as a kid, and again, I don't know how the hell I was into it. Was The Sting?
Yeah, it
was literally on AMC, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but that guy looks cool. All right, I'm gonna just follow this movie. And I'm like, and then when I got to Ocean's 11, I'm like, it's like The Sting. Okay, cool.
I mean, The Sting is a great movie. So
yeah.
So before we get into the next topic, I do want to point out what our goal is for tonight. We have no super chats right now, so it's not looking great. But we'll see if we get there. Super chats of any level count tonight. It's all tiers. But here are what we have in the poll. These are some really good choices. I feel like these are really strong. So if you guys ever wanted to donate to reach the goal, tonight is a good night to do it. So we got top 5, and here's the categories. Top 5 women in comics. So covers any comic book franchise, any company, anything. Just top 5 women in comics. top 5 best deaths in movies. So, yeah, that'll be a fun one. Top 5 worst film sequels of all time.
Okay.
Joker, you kidding?
Oh no!
Oh,
kidding.
Top 5 worst on-screen relationships. So TV shows and movies, like the worst chemistry you've ever seen. So
Darren, we thought the same thing.
We might need top 10 for that one. I don't know.
So those are the top 5 ones. So if you guys want to see us do any of those and you want to contribute, tonight would be a good night to do that because I feel like those are really good options. All right. Did you guys hear that Disney was robbed?
Oh boy.
Did you hear about this?
It's the Riddler.
Gosh.
This was a picture from the security cam of the robbery.
They took the mouse's cheese.
When I saw this story, I was like, wait, we have to talk about this because it's crazy, right? So a Disney Springs restaurant was robbed by a scuba man. He swam up to the restaurant after it closed, spray painted the security cameras, stole up to $20,000 while staff were counting cash for deposit, dove back in the water, and escaped before the police arrived.
This sounds like a bad comic book plot.
If you are Disney, please do not lie.
This is a scene from like
for Disneyland.
This is a scene from like Despicable Me.
Can you imagine you're counting your money and some person jumps out of the water, flippers and all, and they're like, "I'll take all that cash. Just put it in the wet bag here, or whatever." It's like what is it?
The scuba bandit. That has a good ring to it.
This is not my best take, and if I get taken to court over this, I don't mean any of it. But sometimes a crime is so cool they deserve to get away with it.
Just let them have the $20,000.
I was like, you know what? If you can do this and pull it off, hell yeah, man! You deserve that $20,000.
If I had time and space, I would again make an animated sequence of this out of the details and just put in like Ocean's 11 or 13 score and just play it out. It's like
this guy. This guy looks like Doomcock's cousin, Aquacut.
I just was like, you're right. He does actually.
He kind of looks like a Talon, actually.
My question is, why are you like covering the cameras up when you're already dressed up like a supervillain? I just don't get it. Like, I would never know who this person is. Like, this.
I think that's theatrics. I think it's all for theatrics.
Hey,
theatricality and deception.
Also, okay, so
it immediately.
I also want to point out, and anybody in Florida, 3Dub, you know this, or I don't know who else has been to Florida. You don't swim in the water at Florida like this.
Nope.
No.
It is really dangerous. Like there's probably alligators in this water.
What if this means this guy's a real badass?
You gotta respect it, man.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you're right. Maybe Darren's right.
I will say, like, for me in Florida, there's only one place alligators live, and that's the creeks, which is not the bay. And what you have to worry about with the bay is sharks.
But the water around Disney World, like what do they call it, like Bay Lake and all that water, has bacteria in it that could cause brain damage. Like people have gotten seriously sick from that water. That's why they closed River Country.
The lakes over here in the Carolinas have been thought to have brain-eating amoeba in them for years and years, and yeah, we still have stupid people around here, but I mean, I inhaled that water. I'm fine.
Somebody says, I live in Florida. We don't care. Swim, swim, swim. All right. Well, there we go.
Especially since it's Disney, like they're fine. Let him have it. He probably needed it.
Yeah. Serenity says, for women in comics, do you mean characters or creators? For this specific poll, it's characters. Well, we might do like creators at some point, but this one is like, think of like, the big, characters like Wonder Woman and stuff. Like we're talking about characters like that. So,
I would say I already have my list for creators.
Me too. And I feel like there's one that we would share. So in advance, I'll let you have that one.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I felt bad because I took a number of yours last time.
Yeah. Connor Dorian here, Charlie Mad X with a $5 super chat. The first one of the night. I think that's a Reloaded channel. So thank you so much. That will count towards that goal. Did you see that Netflix is also interested in buying Warner Brothers Discovery? What is going on with this? With
Warner Brothers is the next hot thing on the street right now. Everybody,
guys,
it's like
you know what this means, right? They can sell the Snyder Cut to Netflix. It's getting over now. Here we go.
Yeah.
I knew you were going there too.
Yeah.
Like this is the first good year they've had in a while. They are not going to sell.
They're already starting though. The Snyder Bros.
Yeah.
I think Zach read this super chat and went, "Oh fuck, come on, man! I was out."
I just walked away from this mess. Can I walk away for 10 minutes?
No, you never can. So, Gail Simone for sure. Oh, and Nocenti. Yeah. That's another. Louise Simonson. Those are all the ones. I mean, those are ones that I would pick for sure. Like, they would definitely be on my list. Thank you for the super chat. That's 1 out of 10. 9 more within the next hour, and we'll do it. All right. So, this is the other thing I want to talk about before we get into our chat about. I guess we'll do the Peacemaker stuff and get that out of the way, because I do have a few thoughts on that. And for anybody that hasn't seen it, I do apologize. We will be talking semi-spoilers for the episode. At this point, though, we're over halfway through the season, so if you're not watching, I don't think anybody really cares too much.
Good luck.
Marvel Studios is collaborating with Jones Soda to create exclusive bottles for Marvel Zombies, and they will come in 4 flavors. So we have root beer for Thanos, cream soda for Blade Knight, which I'm guessing that's going to be the actual name of the character in the show.
Yeah, it is, because they've already made Funkos.
Right. Strawberry lime soda for Scarlet Witch and berry lemonade soda for Captain America. Is anybody a fan of Jones sodas? I know that some people really like them. I've not had them.
I've never been.
I haven't had soda in 3 years.
Well, I think aren't these like root beers though? I think they're like root beers, if I remember correctly. Like they're all sort of like a root beer base, right? I believe so.
They're like Mike's.
Oh wait, do they have alcohol in them?
I don't know. That'd be the extra kicker.
So
alcohol.
I think a lot of people I think people will buy these just to collect them. Most likely, they won't open them. People will buy.
They were doing a similar thing for Fallout. When Fallout came out, they had these things that were like, in essence, the new cola drinks, if you will.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. Did you ever get any of those? Anybody ever try those? Like,
no,
I never did, but I want to have a new Coca-Cola bottle. I would love one of those.
We got a new poster.
I got one of those. I got one of those old, like the old style that they used to make of those Coca-Cola bottles, where it was like share with a certain name before they changed the style and the font of the way they do it. Mm-hmm. So I have one of those old bottles with my name on it that's never opened. So it's just been sitting there for probably way too long at this point. But that's there.
I have a Back to the Future 2 Pepsi Perfect bottle.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Marvel Zombies here. We got a new poster showing off some of the characters, some of the artwork here. I wish the cartoon looked like this. I mean, I don't mind the what if art, but I really like this artwork. I think this would have been really cool in the cartoon to have this more like hand drawn look to it.
I will say the what if art looks better in that Zombies trailer than it did in What If.
It's fascinating to me that like this is Disney. They were for the longest time they had animation in the bag. Besides Warner Bros. With Looney Tunes, they had the animation in the bag. Mm-hmm. And like I look at it now and I'm like, why? Why don't we roll the dice? You're Disney. Like you don't have to.
I understand. Apparently, DreamWorks has been taking it from them.
I'd argue they have though. Like, what did we get last year? X-Men 97, which is some of the prettiest animated stuff I've seen in a
minute. And my point, it works. Roll the dice, do something else. You want to use the Spider-Man verse animation? I mean, it's been used from Predator to K-pop, but like, go for it. And like,
I like the Arcane style animation.
Yeah. That was also
that would fit zombies.
No, you're right. It does 100%. Lone Wolf of the $2 super chat sent you something on Twitter. I found it interesting. Okay, we'll talk about it after Peacemaker then.
Can I just add like one little thing to the zombies thing? I'm gonna sound very salty here, and that's okay. But I want to get it out now. Freaking move on. There's already 10 times more promotion in Marvel Zombies than there was in Ironheart and Eyes of Wakanda combined.
Some of the collabs, poster artwork coming out, like
Funkos,
and there was a lot of accusing of those shows. Like, well, why those shows? And like in particular, I was like, no, that's not the reason. This is just a budget thing. And now it's like,
people try to spin that narrative because it's an easy target.
It is, but also they're not proving them wrong either. You know what I mean? Like when you have Daredevil that they heavily put, it's like, come on, guys. Like,
by the way,
you had the money. You could have just done this for all of the shows you had this year.
Tonight isn't it top 10 worst? What was it again?
DC.
That's what I thought.
DC adaptations / characters.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's going to be less. It's a top 10, so we're going to set aside 35 minutes of that. So we're not going to do as many bonus topics. What do you say, Jake?
And I don't know if you want to do round robin if we're all doing 10
Well, that's the thing is, I was thinking tonight, like we could do it as a double shot, right? We could do 5 tonight, 5 on Thursday.
Oh,
like do half and half because it doesn't really matter, right? So that's what I was thinking. So we'll do 5 tonight, and then we'll do the other 5 on Thursday. All right. So wait, hold on. Where was that? Oh, Peacemaker. So I know that there's some people not watching it. Is everybody that is watching Peacemaker caught up on Peacemaker? Everyone that's watching it. So me, Ronan, Darren, Joe, are you watching it or no?
Oh yeah, I'm loving it.
Okay.
Ronan showed me the only part of the show that I care about,
which is the stuff with Ted on it.
Yeah. And that's what I said. I said if anything else pops up regarding that, like don't show it to me. Save it for like a reaction or something.
So
I don't like what you just did right there. I don't like the face you just made.
Okay. So I had do I have it over here on my screen? I thought I had it somewhere. Yeah, here it is. All right, so oh my goodness, I got notes. I
should have worn my X-Men hat tonight. We could have been 20.
Anybody in the chat who's not watching Peacemaker, there are going to be some spoilers here, but if you haven't watched the beginning of the season yet, none of this is going to make any sense to you because you haven't seen anything. So a lot of it's going to be like, what?
Also, Darren, chat.
Reed, we will be done in about 15, maybe 20 minutes. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this.
Wait,
I said I love that Stitch hat.
Oh, thank you.
Look, Anthony says the Peacemaker episode was terrible. That's why I titled the stream the way I did, because I know a lot of people said that it's really bad. I want to sort of get into like that more so than what's in the episode, because we can very quickly go over what happens in the episode that's important, because there's a lot of stuff that's just there. It's not super important in terms of like exciting moments in the episode. So
I will be very careful not to raise my hands at inappropriate moments.
So I'll start out with like the big stuff. Let's talk about the big stuff, right? So we have the origins of the quantum unfolding chamber.
Yeah.
So we have a flashback 35 years into the past, shows Augie on a hunting trip with his sons Keith and Chris. They discover an alien creature in a forest. By the way, do we know what that creature was? Do they ever said what it is?
No, but I remember my friend who was watching it, Sam, said that like it sounded like Weasel.
That's what I thought.
In some regards, it does sound like Weasel, but and we don't know the full backstory on Weasel. So
is Weasel from like the world with these aliens or something? Are they like is it like a hybrid of the alien and
I see
what
Weasel.
if an alien had sex with a like a wolf or something, and now the weasel is the child of the
liger?
Does that still count as bestiality?
I don't know.
Honestly, it sounded like Weasel, but it looked like it had a beak.
Yeah, I was wondering Dominators.
Hey,
I was wondering if it was like one of Tomari's species.
I just thought of something funny. It's like you said beak, and I'm not watching it. I just thought of this. He said it had a beak, but it sounded like Weasel. What if you mixed Weasel and Eagly? What if we get Weasley? Wait, that's taken. Never mind.
Never mind.
It's but here's the thing. Joe said Tomare, right? Like that is
Green Lantern. Oh,
I would be giddy if it's leads to stuff. But again, I'm glad this is because I didn't want that like this cool technology just came from this like the redneck racist.
So then we have a silver briefcase on the ground, which leads to a doorway in the woods. That is the entry into what is the quantum unfolding chamber. So this means Augie did not invent it. He found it and obtained it from alien technology. Thoughts on this? Anybody?
A little bit of a metaphor, I think, of someone who's very old school mind thinking, but like most stuff in society, you take something from an alien, you make it your own, to use your own.
That's exactly what everybody's been saying online, is that it's a metaphor for like
America,
colonialism and all that stuff. So
and again, you could not read into it. You could just be like, that's effed up. You just killed a creature that was like begging you not to kill. Which again, even that is like, again, it's
Gunn has shown that he doesn't have a problem doing that. I mean, look at Creature Commandos.
It's revealed that Chris, not just his father, has unique control over the doorway. Augie is shown to be less of a tech genius than previously thought. In particular, Chris apparently is the only person on Earth who can operate or move the door with the briefcase and correct input sequence. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. In Argus, we have the agents trying to raid Chris's house. Economos is conflicted. He stalls, helps Chris and Eagly escape, and aids in setting up the new portal in Chris's grandfather's old cabin. Harcourt is on a precarious position. She's in a precarious position because Rick Flag Sr. confronts her about her past and the blacklisting. Demands she brings in Chris. There's tension about and betrayal there with her character. And I want to point out, I think that Rick Flag Sr. is lying to her. I think he's the one that blacklisted her. I don't think it was. I think he's the one that did it.
That would be
specifically to manipulate her. That's what I think.
That would be really scummy of him if doing that. But here's the weird thing: in that conversation, I love that whole notion of like she knew exactly why he was there in some regards. Yeah. And I love that she made a point like, listen, yes, he killed her son, but he was ordered by Waller, which I'm like, that is true. But then I love his counter, which is also very true, which is like, oh yeah, like me and Pocolistan and you and Junior and Corto Maltese, we all disobeyed orders up until a point when she went too far. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, that's not enough excuse. Like he could have, disobeyed orders and whatnot. But yeah, if Senior does that, that is scummy, dude.
Well, I mean, also, wouldn't he have the power to rescind any sort of like blacklisting? I mean, he's the head of Argus now.
I think that's why I mean, I don't think he has the full power, but I think he has enough leverage to be like, no, this person brought someone of interest who, fucking killed my son. But he's messing around with quantum mechanics stuff that we don't want that to fuck with the Earth, right? So like, she helped out, get her back in the ball game,
right? Yeah. We also had, we're going to skip over my notes for Red St. Wild for a moment. So the portal door in Chris's home is rendered useless by being relocated after the door is set up elsewhere. The old one just leads to the closet. So Chris and company are moving the QUC to evade capture. Harcourt's decision to contact Chris is risky, and because Economos had his phone so that it can be tracked, Harcourt's invitation is dangerous for Chris. And then we get the gag post-credit scenes. We're not going to talk much about that. That's kind of like the big points of the episode, except for this stuff with Red St. Wild and Economos with the whole like eagle tracking stuff and everything. So near the end, Red does some kind of ritual by a campfire. The bruise on his forehead becomes an eagle symbol. He has an out-of-body vision. He seems to see Eagly flying back to where Chris and Adrian and Abadeo are hiding. There he learns their location. This gives, I guess he gets powers from this tied to indigenous Native American symbolism via the primal eagle.
This Red St. Wild, is that Michael Rooker's character?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so let's talk about that briefly before we talk about the episode. So
so here's the thing.
Yeah,
so I had talked to some friends of ours, mutual friends of ours, and they warned me that they're like, we're not digging Rooker's character at all.
Right.
I'm like, what's wrong? Like, I love Michael Rooker. And they're like, yes, we love Michael Rooker. We just don't like the character he's playing. And I'm like, what do you mean? What's happening? He's like, it feels, dare I say, I felt insulting and be like, yo, that's racist as fuck. And I'm like, how bad is it? Because again, I had seen the whole thing of like, the blue and purple stuff. And I remember there was like a back shot.
Yeah, we didn't know the whole thing when we saw the teasers for it and everything.
And I thought that was a deep DCU character. I was like, ooh, we're going to get into that stuff. And I see it played out. And before I had seen it, I was like, well, how bad is it? And they're like, well, they're messing with Native American stuff. And I'm like, did they go full Tonto, like Lone Ranger from Disney movie, like with Johnny Depp? And they're like, that's a good comparison. I was just like, all right. And I watched it and I just like, my hand was this the whole time.
I'm gonna let y'all talk about it for a minute, then I'll give my thoughts on it.
I mean, I don't like this character at all, like whatsoever. Like I am not a fan of it. But the point of the character, at least so far, is that
you're not supposed to like them.
He's a terrible. It's like Peter Griffin, where it's like, yeah, he's just like Peter Griffin just did blackface, but the point of the joke is that he is wrong for doing that thing. You know what I mean? So like that is the point of his character.
They even call him what is it, like Captain Appropriation or something?
Yeah,
last episode.
That is the point. Like it's not like James Gunn has been like, oh yeah, this is a cool thing. It's like, no, he's not a good guy.
Making fun of it.
With that being said, what a lame. I just like I sat here this week, man, and I was like, what are we? This might be my least favorite thing James Gunn's ever done, if I'm being honest. Like this particular episode of Peacemaker is my least.
And you know what's weird, Darren? You bring up the whole thing of like making fun of it and whatnot. You know what's the alternative? They're like, you know what? That was a great way of making fun of it, and yet still being intrigued with the character. Is in season 1, Adrian is in prison, and he goes on a tirade. He goes full on George Carlin, be like, okay, what you tiki sticks holding motherfuckers want to do about it, and like he goes on like about ZZ Top and culturization, and I was just like, Adrian with the MVP, and this the whole time I was just like, you hit this little Chinaman. It's like he's Vietnamese. He just told you he's from Vietnam. Like, and it's just like And again, I love Michael Rooker.
I have something I want to reference here, but I also want to get Joe's thoughts because you're also watching it. Yes. What are your thoughts on this as well from your perspective? I'm just curious.
On the Rooker character?
Just specifically that, yeah.
I found him to be very, very funny, and I thought he was based on, or I don't know if it was intentional, but he reminded me of the character Snake Walker from the Muppet movie, who was a professional frog killer.
Oh,
I would not be surprised if he pulled that from that. I would not be surprised.
I could see that. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so when we first saw this character, and I'm pretty sure that I don't remember who was on stream when we talked about it because it's been forever since the trailer dropped or whatever. But I said it would be very difficult for them to make this work without getting some heat about it because we knew that no matter how this played out, if this character was going to be tied to something regarding indigenous people, Native Americans, like that there was going to be something around it that isn't going to work. And my issue with it was if they bring this character in, because keep in mind, we didn't know if this character was going to be like as bad as they are now. You know what I mean? Like we kind of had an idea of what the character was going to be in terms of what they were going to do on the show, but we didn't know for sure until we actually saw it in the show. And I said I was going to wait until we had a better idea of what this character is before I make any full-on opinions about it. And I hate to do this because I feel like it's okay. I'm going to give my opinion of where I am, how I feel about it, but then I also want to give my thoughts on like how I think people could perceive it as well. So I think we're not supposed to like this character. And so from that regard, I understand that they are making him a bad person for doing bad things. And those bad things might be slightly uncomfortable because it is diving into appropriation. It is diving into like, how a white person perceives indigenous people and things like that. All of that to me, I get that. Like, I'm not blind to the fact that that's the intent, of the character on the show. And from that regard, I think they're doing exactly what they intended to do. I don't know anybody that likes this character. So most people don't like this character. So I think they succeeded in that for one reason or another. My only issue is we have so few Native American superheroes and so few opportunities to use characters like that in something like the show that when we were watching it, I turned to my partner and I said, I wish that we had an actual Native American character to offset a little bit of this, like someone who's there to be in on the gag to the point where they can, I don't know what word I'm looking for here, like offset the appropriation by giving us something that's real opposed to like something that's fake. And I don't think we're going to get that on the show. I don't think that's what they're going for, right? At least not now. Now, we never know. The end of the season may be like Red St. Wild gets like completely destroyed by a group of people who are Native American that like fuck this guy and they go after him and like beat him up or something. We don't know. We have no idea where that's going to go. So we have to wait and see. But what I wanted to bring up is if anybody saw the show The Studio on Apple TV, okay?
Yeah.
There was an episode about Kool-Aid Man, and it spiraled into woke beyond wokeness to the point where it was ridiculous, right? Where, like, is it so inappropriate? I don't know. Joe, did you ever watch The Studio?
I love it.
Okay. So in that episode, I think Ronan, you've seen it too, right? Studio.
I'm going to start it, but I heard about this. I've been hearing about this.
I'm not going to spoil the ending of the episode, but let me just tell you what the episode is. So they have a Kool-Aid Man movie, and they get upset. I don't want to spoil who gets cast. I want you to see it yourself. But they end up casting a black man as the voice of Kool-Aid Man, but everyone else in the show or the movie at that point is not black. And so they're like, is this racist because we've cast a black person in this one role, but none of the other characters are, right? So they're like, well, we have to make the wife black, right? So the next thing is they have to cast like a black woman to play the wife. And then it's like, well, the kids have to be black. And then like, oh, wait, is it too racist if we make them all black? So now we have to cast them as all white people and fire the black people. And like, no, now we have to have more black people and another whole family that's white. Like it just spirals into this like,
writers. Black.
Right. The writing team had to be all black, and then they had to be all white again. It's like, at a certain point, what I loved about that show was they were pointing out like how ridiculous it is to overthink things sometimes. Right. So I don't know if this is one of those times where it's like, are we thinking too hard about this, or is it working as intended? That really is the question.
Yeah.
I'll say this. When I saw it, did I flip and go, fuck this show, James? I'm done. I didn't do that. No. But I did go, oh damn, for a second, and like I was laughing, but I was just like, because I'm like, wow, we're leaning into this, and the fact that he got like almost stripped naked and started doing the dance and I was just like, I laugh out of the ridiculous, being like, well, I wouldn't do that, but like, hey, it's not my money, and it just again like you were saying about like, well, there's only so few characters that are Native Americans and whatnot, and I think I told to Darren that like, there are some storylines that I wish. Again, I'm not trying to throw the performers underneath the bus. It's just like, for my money, this season thus far, Adrian has been the one that's been the least developed character.
I agree.
And like, with this time would have fit better if we gone Adrian to do more other than be like, trivia. Is there another variant of mine? And like, come on, man, I want to hang out with you and kill people and like be in orgies. It just like would have been more fitting to have given more time to be developed and not leave him behind, at the back of the family bus, if you will. And so it's just it's weird again. And I now that you say, I can't wait to watch that episode.
It's a great episode. The studio is a great show. It is so good. So Darren, finish what you're saying there, but I want to get everybody's overall thoughts on the episode as a whole, because I have my opinions, but I'll wait till everybody else is gone.
Yeah, I think this episode for me personally, like, really showed the cracks in the show. Like, I've really enjoyed the season for the most part, outside of some things that we've talked about. And this episode was full-fledged all the things I really disliked about this season, and not really had all the stuff I liked. Like, this is an episode I kind of felt like they were stalling a little bit. Like, I thought this season had a really good pacing, a really good build-up, and this episode really does feel like it kind of like halts in its tracks a little bit to do these kind of little bits and these little things, and I think his character is a big part of that, and I think it falls into that like Tim Meadows situation I've dealt with earlier in the season, where they're not characters, they're bits, right? They're not real characters, they're bits for characters to just do. And if this character had real substance or real personality outside of this bit, I could be like, okay, all right. But instead it's like, oh, it's the guy who eats shit. It's the shit eating guy that hunts down. I can't get into it. It really,
I forgot he does that.
It really has taken me out of the story. And it really, like, I do think this episode kind of lowers it maybe a whole letter grade for me. And hopefully these next couple can redeem it. Hopefully they can, and I think they can. But I think it is one of those weird, like, oh, we need 8 episodes. Shit. What do we do this episode kind of thing? So, but that's just me though. Like, I don't want to drag it down for anyone who happened to enjoy it or, you know, has positive things to say about it, because there are some good things in here too. Like, it wasn't all bad, but I didn't like the majority of it personally.
Okay, Joe, what are your thoughts on? Because you say you're loving it, so.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's not the best episode of the season, but I laughed consistently from start to finish. Yeah, I know I dug it. I'm okay. Anxious to see where it's going.
All right.
John Economos was the MVP of this episode for me.
Yeah,
I was so happy he finally stripped himself of like calling out, oh yeah, Sasha Bordeaux, he winked at you and whatnot. And then, you know, even the spit, I was like, oh shit. And I was like, attaboy, dude, like defending yourself after how many fucking times of ginger beer, yo, GB. You know, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, man.
Okay, so my issue with this episode is probably it's a product of my own making, because I was expecting to get some sort of like, you know where I'm going with this, right, Darren?
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of like a bit more resolution on what's going on Earth 2, and we jumped back into this story. And to be quite honest, this felt like it could have came at any point. Like it just felt like it was. I understand it came where James Gunn wanted it to, but I feel like in the context of the build-up, and Darren, were you the one that said that you felt like this was stalling a little bit and everything? Is that what you said?
It really is, like, literal and physical. Like, in the episode, you literally have a character stalling for time.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's a perfect representation of what this is.
But like, my issue is that like the gag? Is that, are they in on that and they knew it and that's why they did it? And am I annoyed because they were in on it and now I can't give them shit because they were in on it? Like, I don't know, but I really wanted to get a follow-up on what was going on the second Earth. And I feel like what happened in this episode could have been done in 15 minutes, in my opinion.
100%. It could have been the back half of last week's episode.
Yeah, but I think for me, like, do I think it's the worst episode of TV I've ever seen? No, that would be hyperbolic, right? No. I think it's the worst episode of the season, though. I think next episode, too.
Are you of the show?
It's my least favorite.
Of the show. Yeah. But also, I can do without the bird blindness again. Like, can we stop with the bird blindness?
I don't know. I'm loving that. Like, I'm actually driving my wife crazy because, like, I'm just doing it around the house.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that I live in Philadelphia. Every time I see like the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm like, oh, are those ducks?
It works better out of universe, I think, in universe.
It does, actually. I think that's
like
true.
I don't like. I thought it was pretty funny in the show, but they got old quick. But I'm loving all the TikToks I'm seeing where it's like, hey, yo, it's a penguin, and it's just, you know, it's a pigeon or whatever.
the last thing that hit for me with that bit is when they're walking out and John meets up with Judah Muster for the first time since season 1, and Tim Meadows' character, he's like, because he's making fun of my disability. Is it funny? Yeah, very. But you almost got titties killed, and it's like, that's the only time it ever got me after the whole, like, man, that's the man with the Pokemon. He collected all the motherfucking Pokemons, and it's just like, oh man.
It has to be leading somewhere.
I also got to say, I know this isn't a popular opinion, but I think Tim Meadows is one of the best Saturday Night Live cast members.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
Big part of my childhood.
I've loved him in almost everything I've ever seen him in. So
he is brilliant. Shout out to him in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because he is hilarious over there. Yeah. He's so good.
Wait, man, I like Tim Meadows too. You tell me I got to watch this now? I'm kidding.
He's actually really good in it. I would say he's one of the.
He's in a new show.
Season, so.
I think this year he's really? In that like driving show. The driving school show.
Yeah.
He was in one episode of The Mandalorian. I was like, hey, Tim.
Yeah, he was. That's right.
Before we get into the super chat, we got over 100 people watching between the two channels. If you guys would be so kind to make sure you're subbed to my channel and everybody else here, as well as leaving a like or a comment in the chat, it would be much appreciated. Definitely helps the channel grow. Thank you so much. Now, we do have a super chat from Staggervord. That means we are 3 out of 10 with about how much time is left on it? 30 minutes left to get set. I don't think we're going to get it tonight, guys, but we'll see. Super chats of any tier count. So 99 cent and up all count, depending on where you are in the world. Anyway, Staggervord here with the 99 super chat. Ever since the news about Paramount potentially buying Warner Brothers, so many Snyder Bro Chud channels are bragging about how the deal could revive the Snyderverse. I have come to the conclusion that I don't think there'll be a point in my life while I ever hear the end of like reviving the Snyderverse. I think it's just something that will go on for the next 30 years probably.
That's not even what frustrates me most. It's how people are taking this whole thing of Paramount like looking to put up a bid for Warner Brothers and running with that, and them and them equating it to, oh, they're looking to potentially buy Warner Brothers, or oh, Warner Brothers is looking to sell, when neither one of those things is happening.
Right.
I'm infuriated by the selfishness of it. Because if this happens, if Paramount buys Warner Brothers, thousands of people are going to get laid off.
Monopoly.
Because it's going to create job redundancies, just like happened with Disney and Fox. There's going to be people in parallel positions. There's going to be thousands of people are going to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing Snyder Bros celebrating. And it's like, well, screw those people. I might get what I want. First of all, no, you're not going to get what you want. But you're saying that possibility that you might get like Henry Cavill back is worth thousands of people losing their jobs.
Yeah.
You're talking about the same people on the internet who were cheering the fact, who were on the opposite side of the Snyder spectrum, who were cheering about what happened to his daughter because it got him away from the movie.
Yeah. Big Phildy became a channel member. Thank you so much for joining the channel. I do appreciate it. Speaking of that, YouTube is going to allow creators to seamlessly go from public broadcast to members only broadcast. So I might toy around with that a little bit down the road. Don't worry, the Nocturnal Nerdcast will never be blocked off that way, but I might toy around a little bit with some other streams down the road. But thank you for becoming a channel member. I do appreciate it. So wait, hold on. Who was that? Who said that?
That was me.
What did you say?
I was going to say, do you think like it will stop when Henry Cavill becomes like 60 or 70 years old?
No, they'll keep doing it. They'll keep doing it.
When he turns older, and they'll be like, "Kingdom Come, you can do Kingdom Come now."
I mean, or they could just get Brandon Routh to do it.
You know, I don't know. I don't know how many of you guys are Snyder fans, if anyone. So, you know, full. You know, I don't mean to be disrespectful if you guys, any of you love Zack Snyder, but how did something so mediocre create such fanaticism?
You're not going to find any complaints about that over here, I don't think.
We're DC fans.
I feel bad because I know people who are level-headed Snyder fans. Not a lot of them, but I know a few.
I am a Zack Snyder fan. Having said that, I'm pretty sure I'm one of the few that like Twilight of the Gods came out, and that's been my outside of Watchmen. That's been my favorite thing he's done, and I was just like, I want to see more of that. And like, lo and behold, like, God forbid I ever get lucky to meet him and not bring up the Snyder anything Snyder Cut related, and just be like, "Yo, physical media, animation, where are we at, man?" Like, I want you already did that.
I want to see that LAPD movie he's coming out with.
Yeah. I love your work on Rick and Morty, bro.
I was honestly a huge fan of everything he did until Man of Steel. It was DC that broke me, but like I loved Dawn of the Dead 2 and including Sucker Punch. I like
Sucker Punch. Yeah.
See some of his stuff before he got into DC. There's one project of his that I've just never been able to connect with, and that's 300.
Oh, I love 300.
I just have not been able to connect.
I don't even know I don't necessarily know if any. I didn't really connect with 300 at all. But I thought it was a really good movie. But I didn't like. I don't have a personal connection to 300.
This is how bad it is. Like I am definitely. You can go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm not a huge fan of Zack Snyder. I didn't even know he directed 300, and I like 300.
What were you saying, Jake?
So I'm kind of on the unpopular side of Snyder's, to where, you know, a lot of people that are diehard fans of his DC stuff, you know, like I think Man of Steel is fine. It has issues, but I think it's fine. But I think his DC stuff, he got better every movie. I know
his most helpful movie is his last DC movie. That was his most hopeful one. I was like, that's ironic.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, I am glad about the fact that, God damn it, Darren. I am glad with the fact that, you know, he got to do that movie. Like, you could really tell that was a passion project. And, you know, even then, they still held him a little bit in check. They said, hey, here's $70 million to go finish your movie. But they still didn't let him do everything that he wanted to.
Yeah. I'll die on this hill. I will die on this hill. I think the Whedon Cut is far superior to the Snyder Cut. In fact, when I saw the Snyder Cut, I'm like, wow, Snyder cut out all my favorite scenes.
You know, my friend Pagey agrees with that. He agrees because he thinks the third act is better than the third act in the Snyder Cut.
I feel like all my favorite scenes, because he said anything I didn't shoot, I'm cutting out of the movie.
Big Fieldy agrees. He says facts.
Every scene I loved in Justice League was cut out of the Snyder Cut. Like my favorite scene is when Aquaman sits on the lasso of truth and starts getting a little too honest.
Oh, yeah.
And I think every scene of those Whedon cuts that is a reshoot is just, they took story threads, trimmed them down to make them go by as quick as possible, and inserted quippy, quirky.
I think it's funny that a lot of people thought that the introduction to that was done by Zack Snyder.
No,
a lot of people thought it was.
The what do you call it? The Superman scene, the interview with Superman. I think that's the best Superman scene in the entire DCEU. Like that felt to me like the kids interview.
Oh, with the phone, yeah.
And people like they focus on the mustache. Yeah, the mustache looked like crap, but I'm not talking about the special effects. I'm talking about the context of the scene. Superman taking the time to do an interview with some kids. I love that. That is so Superman.
As the character Superman, yes, I like that. But the fact that like it was part of Zack's vision, it just felt very odd that like the guy who made 300 and Watchmen and Man of Steel is gonna have a sweet moment like this, and it's just like that feels again as a fan of the character in the comics and the anime series, and even David Cornswell, yeah, he would have done that.
I also love the fan theory that the kid interviewing him was Freddie Freeman from Shazam.
So there are a lot of issues. I'm not going to say this is the single biggest one, but they take a lot because they're trying to do a much longer story and smush it down into 2 hours, and you really can't do that because you look at Snyder's movie where it's Bruce just looking for those other metahumans. He's just looking for Aquaman and Barry and Victor. He's just trying to find them. But you get to Whedon's version, and right away it's like he already knows about the parademons, and then he's trying to both find these metahumans and learn about the mother boxes.
Well, but I think
they're trying to do too much, and
I actually think that's a problem of them mandating to cut it down. I don't think that's a problem with Joss's cut. I think that was a problem the studio mandated down.
So I'm not saying that was on him. That was that was a consequence for their takes, but also you take a director and a filmmaker, writer who is not remotely compatible with what Zack Snyder had done prior, and they are just two people who you can't mix their styles, and you take things that are crucial to the plot. Key example, Snyder's version. Flash travels back through time, resetting reality with every step that he takes.
That was a mistake.
Joss Whedon saw that and goes, we could do that. Or the Flash could push a car.
I didn't like the car. I didn't like the car part, but I think the Flash turning back time was also stupid.
And I feel like Joss really got the characters more than Snyder. Like there's so many little moments that he put in there. Like I love the graveyard scene where Cyborg's where Flash and Cyborg are talking about how they got their powers, and they go, "We're the mistakes." Like I love that, and I love Flash. I don't know how to do battle, and Batman just help one person. Just help one. I love all those moments. That
moment was nice. It just for that again the context of where we're going. It didn't feel
execution.
I don't say earned.
Flash felt that Flash was the butt end of jokes in that movie.
Well, let me go ahead, Jake.
They made it to where the hero just wasn't able to be a hero. They made him purposefully not heroic more than once. And the only reason why you would do that is if you're trying to give the hero non-heroic moments. It's like, hey, we'll have him try to save Wonder Woman, but then he'll fall on her chest. We'll have him, try to, even when you get into the finale of the film, he's the doofus that's screwing up, doesn't really know what he's doing, saves this one family. Then you have Superman goofily flying a building next to him, which in and of itself looks stupid. And I just think it's set up so horribly because you have, the finale is one of the most egregious examples. Is the heroes don't really feel like heroes because they don't feel like they're actual real characters, because you have, whenever Superman comes back, his whole thing whenever he's talking to Batman and then conversation suddenly breaks, he goes, civilians, I have to go rescue them. That felt like a clear studio note of, people complain that Superman didn't save civilians in Man of Steel, so let's throw that into the third act of this movie. And then they go, well, I know you didn't bring me back because you like me. Are you really going to have Batman sit there goofily and go, well, I don't not like you?
Well, it's enough dying on the hills of which one is better, because I don't think anybody's going to change anybody's mind about this. No, it's okay. I was going to say that I see the benefits of both versions, but and we're going to move on after this, but I will say the one thing that I feel like we missed out on in the Joss Whedon is the incredible Cyborg story that was in the Snyder Cut, because to me that was the best part of the Snyder Cut for me. And it could have been its own separate movie, but we didn't get that in the theatrical version.
He wasn't really a character.
No, and I think that's and we all know how I feel about Ray Fisher, so we're not going to get it. Well, maybe we'd all know, but I have issues with everything about like that whole situation, how he was treated, how he wasn't treated, whatever that is. It was just all that drama. He was the best part of the Snyder Cut for me, and we'll leave it at that. We do have a comment here. Was that?
I like the race scene, and that's about it.
Yes, yeah. Did you hear about TikTok?
Movie? Yeah.
Okay, so this is. I wasn't going to talk about this. We're only going to briefly talk about this, but I did mention it on Twitter. So the ban that TikTok was supposed to happen a week ago, and it didn't happen. And people are like, "What's going on with this?" And it says the U.S. has reached a deal with China over TikTok, according to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. The TikTok ban was set to take effect on the 17th of September. Actually, it was before that. There was talk of like a week ago they were supposed to do something where they were creating a new U.S. TikTok, which never happened. Which, by the way, I want to point out, I said it would never happen because the TikTok value is tied to the algorithm and the international aspect of it. If you subtract those two things from it, it no longer has any value and nobody's going to use it. So I think they realized that was the situation. Also, whatever went on behind closed doors, and we're not going to talk about the government, we're not going to get into that, but I just want to mention this. Money exchanged hands, and that's why this quietly went away. So now we have, TikTok is staying. I'm not a big TikTok person. I know a lot of people are. They use TikTok all the time, and that's fine. I'm not a big TikTok person. Does anybody really care about this? Does it affect anybody's platform? I don't really use it, so I don't really have a reason to care too much one way or the other.
I noticed something different when uploading, like back in the day when you upload like certain clips where it doesn't have any copyright music, but it's a clip. It does get shown to the For You page to people, but now it doesn't do that because it's basically not original content, so they don't show it to the that might be something to do with just licensing agreements that they have. That might be the issue with that. I don't know if that it just randomly appeared. So I noticed like it didn't usually happen until now. So.
Right. All right, so we got a super chat from Serenity, $10 super chat. This is how you make the episode better. Okay, we're talking about Peacemaker. If anybody was here earlier and left, just give us a minute to do this. Thank you for the super chat, Serenity, $10, very generous. I appreciate it. Keep everything the same, but when Adebayo, I can never say her name right, Adebayo says that didn't happen. Chris takes her to Earth 2. His brother attacks her because racist and Flag's trap is avoided. I actually thought we were going to get to Earth 2 in the episode. That never happened. So fingers crossed this week we actually go there with these characters and we get to see what they're going to do.
You could definitely shed off a lot of this episode, and this is just half of next week's episode. And again, I don't know what next week's episode is yet, but it's like a 30-minute episode.
Next week, it's a flashback to last season, and we spend an hour doing something from season 1.
Just trim a lot of that fat, connect it to next week. It's a 7-episode season. That's fine.
When are we going to see David Corn sweat, everybody? Is he ever going to show up?
That photo, man.
There was some corn sweating in the first episode.
Oh my gosh! There we go. We have
we're gonna see him a week from Thursday.
Oh, what is that? What did you
say? We're gonna see him a week from Thursday because we have a Thursday episode, and then the very next day, Superman drops on Max.
I think it's a misdirect, to be honest with you.
Oh my gosh! I didn't think about that.
I'm starting to think Superman won't appear. I think they want us to think he's going to appear. I think it's going to be Holt instead.
Who?
Nicholas Holt. Lex.
Oh.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw Superman in the theater for the 7th time last night.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. I've seen it twice. So
thanks for your.
I've seen it 3 times.
Wow, but it's like people going back for seconds and thirds and sevenths apparently.
There's only one recent comic movie that I've seen in theaters more than
Deadpool and Wolverine.
No, actually.
No? Oh,
I was going to say that I've seen in theaters more than twice. And it wasn't Deadpool and Wolverine.
Really? Wait, what?
Wait, do you want to try and figure this out?
No, tell us what it is.
Is it Doctor Strange?
Yep.
Okay. Darren with a dad joke here. $5 super chat. Thank you for donating, Darren. Yesterday, a cloud held a door open for me. I thought it was a nice gesture. Okay, there we go.
I saw Superman in 3 different formats.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Dolby Digital, 3D, and 2D.
Well, there we go. We did have a Lone Wolf sent something over. I do want to point out we got 16 minutes on the goal, but what I'm going to do, I'd love to see the confetti. I would love to see the confetti. But if we get the 10 super chats within the stream time, I should have set it to 3 hours. I don't know why I set it to 2 hours. If we get the super chats within the stream time, I'll still count it, even though the goal ends in like 15 minutes. But if you guys would like to see the confetti, any super chat of any tier, and that's the last time I'm going to mention it until we get down to like the 1 minute mark. Okay. So this was sent over by Lone Wolf. Trammell Tillman is the first black man to win an Emmy and Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series. The first one.
Wow.
That's almost...
The first part is not good.
Yeah.
I know I cheered.
No. Is that another one of those? Is that the Jake moment for you?
I was about to say, Darren, now it's your turn.
First of all, I didn't really know who this person was because remember when they were cast or whatever, and I was like, I don't know who this is. When I found out, I went and watched some stuff with Trammell in it. Great stuff. Like great stuff. Incredible.
Have you seen Severance or no?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But yeah, so seeing this, I was just like, what? Like the first, like congratulations to him. Incredible. Yeah. But also first black man to win an Emmy in a supporting role. Like, how long have the Emmys been around? Like,
I think it's like 70 years.
Like, what? I don't know. I was kind of shocked at that when I just read that when Lone Wolf sent that over. I was like, what in the world?
The world is a
vampire.
Yeah.
Are weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
All right. So
Emmys are weird, just like really, really quickly. Emmys are weird in that way where you do kind of see a lot of the same people usually winning throughout a show's run. Where like if they're really into these one show, you saw this a lot with like Breaking Bad and like Succession, where it's like while the Succession was airing, they were winning almost every year for the majority of their run. So a lot of these years, you almost don't have the opportunity for a lot of these other actors to win and get these roles. But yeah, I'm so glad that they got, because he is incredible in Severance. Like he kills that role.
So I'll say this: I know this show would not have probably been anywhere near well regarded enough to be considered for like Emmys conversation, but one black actor that I would have definitely put up for that sort of award. You know who I'm thinking of?
John Henry Irons, I assume, right?
That was one of them, but I was I was going a little bit further back.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jake.
I was thinking David Harewood.
Oh, really?
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That would have not passed my mind at all.
The reason I was thinking, and it's honestly because of one exchange. It's one exchange. I think it's in season 4. Whenever he has that intense back and forth with Carl Lumbly, that one scene where they're essentially like that whole scene where it essentially climaxes with him yelling, "I'm the Martian Man."
Yeah,
and I'm gonna say it felt so gratifying to hear the voice of Martian Manhunter literally look at him and go, "Yes, you are." I was like, "Damn it, that's great."
So, by the way, good to see you, Gwendolyn. I know you're watching on playback, but you'll eventually catch up to this. But good to see you in the chat. We haven't seen you forever. All right, so let's talk about Fantastic Four. Here we go. The physical release of Fantastic Four First Steps will include 5 deleted scenes. Now, I looked this up, and what I can see is there's going to be a cut you can watch with the deleted scenes inserted back into the chronological pacing of the movie.
Okay.
So I'm like, what? So there's a version, there's a theatrical cut, and there's going to be a version with the deleted scenes in it, apparently.
The Fantastic Cut.
Fantastic.
So, but it's not listed as a director's cut, though. So I don't understand.
That could be a better
I mean, it could be like there are movies that have cuts with scenes added into them that are not listed as director's cuts, but more so editor's cuts.
So
maybe.
I wonder if they cut it based on time. So
they did. That was it was a pacing issue. That's what they said originally. Was they cut it?
It's part of why John Malkovich got cut from the movie entirely.
Yeah. You're right, Parker. Maybe an extended cut. Sorry, Darren. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying, like, to me, if put together right, this could be a fundamentally better version of that movie. Because, like, my biggest problem with it, like, I like it a lot. I think it's a good movie, but like, there is just something missing. There's just something not there.
We're gonna watch a deleted scene tonight. There's a deleted scene we're gonna watch,
and that one is like that adds so much to the movie. I'd say like that adds a lot to it. So
but
like,
before we get to deleted scenes, so these are the 5 that you can watch separately or an added in extended cut, I guess, whatever they're gonna call it. Taking Turns, Subterranea, Birthday Sweater, Fantastic Four Day, and Thanksgiving Soup Kitchen. I'm assuming the one with John Malkovich is going to be added back in. I think that's probably Fantastic Four Day, if I had to guess, right? Is that the one that was?
I guess, yeah.
Possibly.
Presumably, yeah.
Here's the interesting thing. It releases on Blu-ray on October 14th, which is over 80 days after it was in theaters. Yeah. It's releasing on VOD on September 23rd, which is 60 days. So Disney is still the only company giving theaters the full theatrical window that they asked for, which is 45 plus days. They're giving them more than 45 days. And the Blu-ray version is almost double what they're asking for in terms of like the amount of time they want in theaters. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I feel bad for John Malkovich. The man just can't catch a break when it comes to Marvel movies.
That's true.
He's now been omitted from one twice.
So there's a prequel comic, Serenity says. No, I haven't. If it's on Marvel Unlimited, I'll probably read it after we're done, now that you mention it. I didn't know there was one. I'm very curious. This might be the first Blu-ray that I buy as quickly as I can. Like typically I will get these just to have, but I might buy this one right away if it's got all of these scenes in it, because I want to see the movie with all of the scenes that were taken out of it just to see what it looks like. Anyway, let's watch this clip. The clip that we have, I believe, is the one is Subterranea, right? Okay. So here we go. This is the clip. This might get removed from the stream. It's 1 minute and 37 seconds. So if you're watching this on playback and it is missing, you can watch it anywhere online. And we're going to watch the whole clip and then we'll talk about the clip afterwards. Here we go.
Getting Tower of Terror vibes.
Sue, we agreed you wouldn't do that anymore.
Like we agreed you wouldn't revolt every time.
Your sewer pipes burst. I have people living in excrement under Staten Island.
I dispatched the team to handle that excrement.
Oh, what a grand gesture. Thanks for the big favor. I could give the word and they would rise up.
And Johnny could fly through your tunnels and burn everyone alive. And I could put a force field inside your brain and give you an aneurysm. But we're not going to do that because we're not.
Ooh, are you all right?
Maybe he's trying to relocate my stomach.
I can hear.
Sorry about that. What is really going on, Harvey, huh? I got people working around the clock on those sewers.
Not my people.
I see. Okay, so how about you get me a list of your best workers and I will run the names over to planning myself.
Okay.
Deal?
Deal, yes.
Wow.
That's a sweet scene.
You know, I get for pacing purposes, but seeing her walk in and then turn invisible, that moment was like, we didn't have a lot of that in the movie that really felt that way. So that felt really nice to see her just kind of casually using her powers, like to do something.
Being the ambassador. You see her being, the head of the Teacher Foundation.
Yeah, and like she uses that kind of mannerism, I guess, for lack of a better word, to really just dictate the terms of that whole interaction between them, which is great.
It's like a big part of the climax of the movie is like him coming in and helping the people of Earth. That scene doesn't really feel that impactful in the movie. After seeing that scene, like if you have a little bit of build up to their dynamic in the early bits of the movie, that scene would hit a lot harder. And I would assume there's a lot of moments like that in the movie where like things will happen where it's like, oh, that's cool, but like kind of feels like it came out of nowhere or like it wasn't really built up.
Yeah, this actually feels like the connection that we get later on in the movie. There was something there was a link in that chain now that feels more authentic.
Like they told you the connection in the movie, but now you're actually seeing it.
You're seeing it.
I can't remember. Did they ever like cuss in the film? Like, is that the only time they say asshole?
But yeah.
Yeah, Reed. I mean, in a joking way with his wife, of like, that's a. I don't know what he said, but it was like that's a effed up pull on me when they were like wondering about the baby and like her being big and whatnot. I'm pretty sure probably Ben or Johnny swore. Somebody.
I think Johnny did in space.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone dropped the F-bomb though.
No, I don't think it did.
No.
So, but you know what? I also love the idea. I know we saw it in the movie with like the Subterranea and like this underground world or whatever that's so ridiculous that it even exists. But on this earth, it just makes sense to the people that live there because it's just something they've dealt with. I like the idea of getting a little bit more of that because we know we're probably not going to get much of it, in Doomsday. At least I don't think we're going to get much of it in Doomsday.
I think he might appear in Doomsday.
You think so?
I think because it seems like that like their Earth is a location in Doomsday. There's not that many characters in the movie that you can really show off. I think he meant a small appearance, not a large appearance. He's not going to have a big role, but I think of a small role.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have to leave and they're like, we got to go find what the hell is going on. We're trusting you to protect the planet while we're gone.
He's going to appear and then go like underground.
So just before we watch this clip, we are really, I can't believe we're this close. We're only 3 super chats away with 4 minutes left. So if anybody wants to donate just 99 cents 3 times or whatever to get it, you can. It's any tier. So I want to see the confetti. If we don't get the confetti, that's fine, but I like to see the confetti. All right, we're gonna watch. This is the bloopers from Fantastic Four. This is another minute and 30 seconds. It might be out of the stream. We'll see.
Fantastic Four first takes.
Oh, damn.
Those suits are so gorgeous, man.
Do not shut me down. Should I go faster? Do not shut me down. Bet too much.
I'm just doing this to get dizzy.
Shut up. You're right. You're right.
Rolling. Right. How do you say "oh" in Marvel Land?
Oh, damn baboon.
Oh, Reed Richards. Fantastic.
I was hoping someone did that.
Do we have to? Johnny, do we have to? Johnny, do we have to?
One more. Sorry.
This is going well.
Every time. Oh my God.
What about this big glob of... Did you get that? Turn off every light switch on the planet.
Okay. Bless
you.
you.
Have a cold. I'm just
allergies.
Allergic to dishonest moments.
Oh,
snap.
All right. Anyway,
I love even in bloopers. There's so much like Ben and Reed. I just like busting each other's chops.
So great. So great.
It reminds me of the when Ned says I'm a virgin and then sneezed and Tom Holland sneezed. It's like it was a perfect it reminded me of that when Ben sneezed.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this release now. I want to see what else they have on there. And this is the first time in forever that I think I've been looking forward to like a actual physical release from Marvel, to be honest. So that's good. By the way, watching that makes me want to watch the movie again now. Like I want to go back and watch Fantastic Four again. So that's good though. All right, we're gonna do some super chats, and then I think we have the Frank Grillo stuff, and then we're going to talk about half of our list. Which, by the way, before we get into this, Joe, did you like Fantastic Four? You haven't been on since that movie, and I didn't know what you thought about it.
I was incredibly disappointed by it.
Okay,
it was one of. I actually thought I was going to like it more than Superman.
Mm-hmm.
The retro future look and everything, like the trailers just spoke to me, and I really was disappointed that the film lacked a sense of humor.
Right.
It just took itself too seriously. Like I love the comics, and in the comics, there wasn't enough Ben and Johnny bickering with each other. There's a scene at the end with a car seat. That's all I'm going to say, in case people didn't say. I don't want to give too much away. That scene is so great, and it comes at the end of the movie, and I sat there going, where was this? Where was this? We needed more of this. Now, that said, I didn't hate the movie. It's an okay movie. I just was really disappointed because I felt like they didn't quite get the tone right.
Right. I can see that. I know that my partner, we got confetti. I was like, are we going to get confetti? We got confetti in the chat. I love that confetti, by the way. My partner said the same thing about it, like that it just wasn't, it didn't feel quite like it, like all the ingredients were there. It just didn't sort of like bake long enough, I guess, or it felt like it was not quite done. Superman was their favorite, like 100%. Like they loved Superman. That's probably their favorite comic book movie of the year. Mine was Thunderbolts, but
all I cared about is being Galactus, right? Which they did.
Thunderbolts for favorites.
Yeah,
but also it was the only one that I walked out of. Like, now granted, I liked Fantastic Four.
You walked out of it.
it was the only one that like I went through the movie, and then after the credits were done, I walked out and I was like, I didn't really have any complaints about that. Whereas with Fantastic Four, liked it, had complaints about it. You guys know my thoughts on the other two.
Yeah. Funny enough, like Fan Four Stick was the only one that I really wanted to walk out of, but I was trapped because I couldn't drive.
It was trapped.
I was trapped.
Forced to watch Fan Four Stick.
I was forced to sit while my parents watched My Greek Wedding.
Oh, geez. You should have just went and watched that instead. I'm sure it would have been better than Fan Four Stick.
Go out into the lobby of your movie theater and just watch the kids mess around. You'll get a better movie there than in the theater.
That sounds really sus. But
I mentioned I saw Superman 7 times.
Yeah.
Can you guess which superhero movie this year I saw the second amount of times?
Captain America.
Captain America 3 times.
Oh,
okay. Part of that was because my daughter has a major crush on the new Falcon.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Well, he's off the market.
Joaquin. Oh, really? Is he?
He was, I thought.
Let's see.
Unless I'm wrong.
You might not be. I don't know. That's what I was asking. All right. We got some super chats here. Screwface Capo with the $2 super chat. The Snyder Cut. The ... Snyder Cut with the $2 super chat there. Thank you so much. We're not going to get back into that battle, but
talk about it again.
Huh?
No.
We got two.
That could just be a fun stream on its own.
2 $1 super chats from South Texas Shark. There's another one from him we'll talk about in just a second. Staggervore here at the $4.99 super chat. I can see the Superman sequel likely introducing Mercy Graves as Lex's new henchwoman. Thoughts on that?
Maybe.
Sure. Why not?
I mean, okay. So surprisingly, I found out there's a lot of people that are huge fans of Mercy Graves, and found that out by watching the show and stuff. The introduction of like different characters and what happened with the DCU. I've never particularly cared about the character, but I found there's a lot of people that do like Mercy. So
I feel like it's almost like a name alone. Like she's one of those like comic characters when people hear their comic, they're like, "Oh shit, that's from the comics."
Right.
But it's like, okay, why do you like them? It's like they're from the comics. It's like, okay, that's nice. You know,
is there a Superman character that you guys would like if you're Superman? Is there a DC character, I guess, in general that you found out was coming to the sequel, the what is it, Man of Tomorrow movie, whatever that ends up being? Is there a character that you would be like so shocked that they would use that that would make you like jump through hoops to go see the movie? Like, is there someone out there that says so?
Ambush Bug.
Oh, Ambush Bug.
And for Jake, it's Vigilante.
No.
Ted Grant.
Ted Grant. Oh, Ted Grant. Sorry.
I mean, so yes, but from a realistic sense, so like people that could appear in that movie.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a little bit of a cheat, I guess, because they already kind of did another version of Superman, but if they eventually end up doing like Cyborg Superman or something.
Oh.
What if they do? What if the second movie is the death of Superman?
We've been there. We've done that.
I feel like I've heard that before.
The answer is clear now that I think about it, and I think it's going to happen. Brainiac. If they announce that
Brainiac's a good one.
Like, I'm there day one. I mean, I'm going to be there day one anyway, but like,
I got another one. This one's a little bit of a deep pull. Draga.
I also have one. This one used to be in like the when I met him, he was in Superman Returns the game, and his name is Mongrel. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think those are people's top two. Like Brainiac, Mongrel are like the two probable villains, right? I'd say.
Because isn't Mongrel a part of
Humanite?
What?
I said hell.
Ultra Humanite. I mean, that feels like a James Gunn type character.
He's canon. He's in Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Or like he's name dropped in Peacemaker from like an article.
Wait,
what about Snowflame? Anybody remember Snowflame?
Vaguely.
It's the villain that uses cocaine to get powers.
Oh God, yeah, I do.
That's for the Deadpool sequel.
You know what character I would also like that I would fully believe is up James Gunn's alley that I'm convinced he's probably going to do something with? Mixie Spitalik.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Mixie Spitalik was already in the first movie, though. The creature that they were fighting, the Justice Gang was fighting out the window when he was talking to Lois.
Oh, he talked about a fifth dimensional imp.
They said, "What's that?" And he goes, "Oh, that's just some interdimensional imp they're fighting."
Yeah, but
I don't think it is him.
There's multiple imps, though.
Yeah, I thought that was just like a
it was
reference.
Batmite, though.
I know whenever that image first came out, and you saw like the purple thing behind him that had a little bit of a glow to it. There were a lot of theories going around that was Solaris, but that didn't end up being the case. I think it honestly would have been cool if they did go that route, because again, that would have been a little bit of a deeper pull.
Yeah, I'm so sad that Gilbert is no longer with us, because I would just have him come back.
Yeah,
he fucking kills that man.
Yeah.
So what? If you remember on the Flash, was the Music Meister an imp or?
No.
They are a extra dimensional being, but they're not. They're not. So
okay.
Yeah.
If they did the Music Meister, I feel like they would have to bring back Neil Patrick Harris.
That would be hilarious.
Although he did kind of play a similar role on Doctor Who, though. So
that's true. South Texas Sharp with a $2 super chat says, "What did you watch this week?" I love answering this because it's very different typically for. So we just finished watching a show called The Paper. We watched the last episode this week, which was actually really good. We're watching a show on Prime called Girlfriend, I think is the name of it.
Ooh.
It's got Robin Wright as the lead from what you call it? Why can't I think of it? Kevin Spacey. Well, yes, Princess Bride, but she was in this show with Kevin Spacey. What was it called?
Oh, House of Cards.
House of Cards. That's it. Yeah, she's in there.
Olivia Cook is in it, I believe.
Yeah, and it's an interesting show because the episode, at least from what we've seen, you get to see the episode through the eyes of different characters. So like you watch part of the episode happen with one character and then they'll go back and show you the other character's perspective. At least that's the way it looks like it. We also started watching Futurama season, whatever it is, on Hulu, dropped this week, the new season. Mm-hmm. We weren't really happy with the last season of Futurama. We thought it was okay. This one had a much better start to it. What else are we watching? What else did we finish? We're watching The British Sewing Bee on the Roku channel. So the Great British Bake Off as well, which is one of our favorite shows. Project Runway we're watching. We're not too happy with that at the moment. I'm into a lot of fashion and stuff like that, so we watch a lot of shows about that kind of stuff and reality TV competition shows. So we kind of lean into that a little bit. Of course, we're watching Peacemaker, so there's that. Alien Earth, tonight's episode was so good. I'm really enjoying that show, by the way. Anybody else watching anything you want to shout out? Any shows that you're watching? Any movies you're watching?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say I am currently, like, before I came on the podcast, I was watching the Ice Blade Sorcerer Shall Rule the
Is that
World.
an anime series?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As soon as you said the title, I was like, it has to be anime.
Yeah, their anime titles are long, so.
Yeah. Anything, Darren? Oh, Joe, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I just finished season 2 of Strange New Worlds, and that was fantastic. Not quite as good as season. Did I say season 2? Season 3.
Yeah.
Not quite as good as season 2, but still, still very good.
I had an issue without spoiling it because we're not talking about that specifically, but without spoiling it, I loved almost everything in season 3 except for the last episode. I didn't really like the last episode.
I loved the last episode.
I know,
but my wife is with you. She didn't like the last.
Yeah, I think there's an element in it. I'm just gonna put it this way: power of love shit I don't typically like. So anything that leans into like some sort of like internalized love being used as like a way to explain something, I'm probably not gonna like it because it just doesn't work for me. But I'm not gonna spoil.
Don't tell the Flash.
look, in cartoons and stuff, I like it. And if I say anything more than that, it will spoil the end of the series or the season. So I don't want to do that. But yeah, I just didn't really care for that too much.
I thought probably the best part of season 3 was the appearance by Trelane from the original series.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. Strange New Worlds for me is the best, and I might get a little pushback on this because I love Discovery as well, but I think Strange New World is the best in terms of like feeling like an old Trek show placed in 2024, 2025. It has that same feeling to it. It's just a shorter season because obviously they're not going to get like 23 episodes anymore.
Yeah.
But I feel like the vibe of the show feels the most like that, whereas Discovery was a different thing. I love Discovery for different reasons. Picard season 1, did not like it. Picard season 2, much better. Picard season 3, I loved it, but I fell for the nostalgia bait, I guess. Also 7 of 9, I love her. She's one of my favorites. So anything with her in it probably will get a thumbs up from me. But yeah, so that's with me, Star Trek. So anything else, anybody?
I'm just about to finish watching The Good Place for it the first time.
Oh,
about to wrap up season 4.
I love that show. That's such a good show.
Pretty good. It's pretty great.
All right. Well, thank you for the super chat, South Texas Shark. We had another one here. I think. Oh, we had 2 here.
To finish,
yeah, Jake. What'd you say, Jake?
I'm getting caught up on the Swarm series that came out because I started that and I'm about to finish it.
Is that on Prime or Hulu or where is that at?
It's on Prime and it's also on HBO Max.
Okay.
Might start the studio.
You have to start the studio. That is one of the best shows this year.
It's weird because like if it sounds like it's up my alley, but I've just been busy with like having to plan what I can watch. Like for example, these past few days, I finally saw 2 movies that like are years like old. And I finally found like, okay, I finally got that off my back and whatnot. But so yeah, I think the studio might be the next.
I don't want to talk about season 2 of Poker Face in the chat. I see you guys talking about it. I don't want to talk about season 2 of that show. Let's not do that, please. Please, let's not do that. I love season 1. Was not a fan of season 2.
I want to get into that as well because I love
season 1 is almost perfect television. Season 2 has so many problems, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that the creative team that was part of season 1 did not come back for season 2. So yeah. Lone Wolf here with the $5 super chat and a team member. Thank you so much. Speaking of Fan 4 Stick, what did you guys think of the film Chronicle? I love Chronicle.
Oh, I love that movie.
I had a good time with that one.
You don't really get found footage movies like that anymore.
Yeah. That was one of the reasons I was excited for Fan 4 Stick was because of that movie. That was like,
because that was Josh Trank. So.
Yeah. I mean, like, I thought he's got a good idea of how to make superhero stuff look really modern and cool. And then the studio jumped in and said, fuck your skills. We're going to do whatever the fuck we want. And turned what might have been a bad Fantastic Four movie into a worse Fantastic Four movie because he wanted the sci-fi horror elements of the Fantastic Four to permeate through the entire film, and the studio was like, no, the third act has to be like a Marvel movie.
You know that's not the only Marvel movie that he was originally going to do, because they originally had him attached to a Venom project.
Really?
Yeah, he was the last one of the people who were directing a Venom project that didn't come out before the one that ended up coming out in 2018. because believe it or not, they tried to do that 4 times. There were 4 attempts at a Venom movie to come out before the 2018 movie, and the really funny part, one of them predates the 2002 Spider-Man movie.
Oh.
We're trying again with like the animated one.
Yeah.
I remember that. They were talking about a Venom movie back in the 90s.
Yeah, because David Goyer wrote a thing for it, and they said, "Oh, we don't know how we feel about this, but we want to use you for this movie Blade that we're doing." And then that kind of kickstarted, his career with comic stuff over the last 25 plus years.
Serenity says, was season 2 of Poker Face that bad? I don't want to ruin anybody's like feelings going into it, but it's very different from season 1. They add elements. So let me tell you what I loved about season 1 for people that haven't seen it. I don't want to spoil it, but the concept of Charlie's abilities not being fully explained made the show more believable because there was nothing, you were judging it based on what was presented in front of you. In season 2, they try to explain it, and by doing that, they ruin the magical element of it that makes it something that you don't really understand. So I had an issue with that with season 2 because of that. So yeah. Let's see. And we had another super chat right here from Lone Wolf. GLR super chat. Have any of you seen like Alice in Borderlands season 3 soon? Has anybody watched that series, Alice in Borderlands?
No, I heard good stuff though.
Never been.
I saw the first season, and I don't remember. Was that on the Sci-Fi Channel? I feel like it was. Hold on, let me.
Now I'm familiar with Alice in Chains. That's a deep cut music.
Here comes the rooster.
Thank you, Ronan. Thank you.
I saw
it was Netflix. Movie. It was Netflix. That I was wrong. It was Netflix. I haven't seen season 2, but I will probably watch it now since season 3 is coming out soon. My issue with, and I think this is what it is. Netflix is so quick to cancel things that sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch a cliffhanger season if I don't know another season is happening.
Yeah.
I feel that Hollywood should stop. Like, you should not make a cliffhanger ending if you haven't already been guaranteed another season.
I agree with this. I 100% agree with that.
Because one of my favorite Netflix originals really suffered from that. It was back in, I think, 2021. I want to say is when it came out. If anybody remembers the series October Faction, they were on a roll with that first season, going into something really, really strong. The finale really set things up for a second season, made it seem like they were going to, go into like 2-3 seasons more with the stories, and then got axed after the first season. So nothing ever came out of it.
Stamina here says Alice in Borderlands season 1 was solid. Season 2, the lead character was fucking insufferable, was torturous to finish. So, okay, now I'm looking forward to it.
Whenever somebody says that something is like the worst of all time or like down in the dumps level bad, and then you see it and like it raises your expectations.
Anthony here says, do you see Terry Matalas, the showrunner for Vision series, could potentially be working on the Nova project? I like Terry. What was Terry worked on? It was either Discovery or Picard, right? Was it Picard?
Picard season 2 and 3.
Yeah. So when I heard about him working on Vision, I was like, yeah, this sounds good. But I need to see what Vision's going to look like before I could get excited about him working on another Marvel project. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting quest for him to tackle.
Yeah.
Did anyone watch his 12 Monkeys show? I never saw it, but I heard it was fantastic.
It's much better than the movie, I think.
Oh, the Bruce Willis movie?
No, the TV show based on.
No, you were talking about much better.
Oh, better. Yeah. I think it's better than the movie with Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That I know people like that movie. That movie was kind of rough for me, to be honest.
Well, it's got a cult following to it. People that like it for that reason. Screwface here with $2 super chat says, I'm still mad about Luke Cage and the Get Down. Yeah, the Get Down specifically. I thought that was a really good series. My issue, to sort of piggyback on what Joe was saying, and this is kind of the opinion that I've held about this for a while. If you are a person that has a show and the show gets picked up and you get greenlit for 2 seasons from the beginning, which I feel like if you're doing a 10 episode series, you should negotiate for 2 seasons if you're going to do a sort of cliffhanger story. Then I think it's fair to do a cliffhanger if you know you're getting that second season. Yeah. Everything beyond that, your story should end. Whatever that season story is, should have a bookend on it at the end of the season. And if you do tease something else, it needs to be very lightly teased. Like, don't make it seem like I have to see the next season, or I'm going to never hear the rest of the story or understand what these characters are doing or whatever. It ruins it. So many shows are not rewatchable because they end on a cliffhanger, and I never want to go back and watch them again.
One of my favorite,
for example, Superman.
Whoa, hold on. Everybody, we'll do this in order. Joe, I heard you first, so you finish what you're saying.
I was going to say one of my favorite shows recently was Resident Alien, and it did get a 4th season. But that 4th season was in question. Sci-Fi canceled them. Fortunately, USA ended up picking them up for the 4th season. But season 3 ended on a cliffhanger. And I was like, why are you doing this to us? We're not going to get resolution.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, they did end up getting that 4th season. But it was, touch and go there for a while. And I love the way they ended season 4, because they ended season 4 in such a way that they could have come back and done a 5th season. But you also got closure.
Also, before you guys go, did I hear right? Is it Joe? Correct me if I'm wrong. They canceled the show while the cast was at Comic-Con promoting the show. I was there and I kept hearing that. Oh my gosh, they're doing a signing, and they just were told they got canceled.
I heard that too. Yeah.
So Jake, you had something you were going to say. You were the second one I heard, and then 3W, you were the last person I heard. So.
To go on to your thing about if Netflix is, if they're going for that 2-season story, like have each season have a bookend, unless you're getting that 2nd season, then that's the only way you can cliffhanger it. A show that I think did that very well. It was a Netflix original. I think it came out. I think it started in 2020, and then it started in like 2019, 2020, and then the 2nd season came out like 2-3 years later. It was a show called Trinkets. It's got Brianna Hildebrand, Quintessa Swindle, and Kiara Medea on it, if anybody knows those names. And they had, they were both 10 episodes seasons 1 and 2. And, season 1 had a bit of a cliffhanger ending, but also, like, if that would have been the way they ended it, you're like, oh, okay, so they just kind of part there. But then they brought things back around for a 2nd and final season, and they knew they were getting the end on that one, so they were able to write the ending. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of these shows, their fate is uncertain, so they might, swing big and go for the fences, and unfortunately, in the case of something like Legends of Tomorrow, not get the resolution that they want. But a lot of these shows have the advantage of, I won't say a lot of them have the advantage, because a lot of them don't get that chance, but if they know that it's the last season, then that often would give them a chance to, work your way toward an ending instead of just leaving a bunch of things open.
I totally agree. Before 3Dub says anything here, I want to say that I think if you're going to end a show and it's teetering on not coming back, go ahead and tell the showrunners before the end of the season and say, we don't know what's going to happen. Make sure that you wrap up whatever you want to wrap up before the end of the season, just in case.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's.
Can I interject something about Legends of Tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
That one was especially insidious because the writers knew there was a chance they weren't coming back.
Yes.
And they did it on purpose, thinking they were going to force the network to bring them back.
Yeah.
Well, every year the ratings kept getting lower and lower, so it's like, will they come back? And then somehow they kept doing it.
But you know what? With Legends, it was a running gag with myself and Paige with the after party. We talked about it. That show just kept getting renewed over and over and over again, even when the ratings were low. So
what's funny is Canada Graphs was saying the same thing. Like he kept making the prediction of, it's probably going to get canceled this season. It's probably going to get canceled this season. And then the one time that he said, they're probably going to come back, that's when they didn't.
Before we move on, I want to give 3Dub a chance to say whatever he was going to say. So 3Dub, go ahead.
So to kind of, because something goes above what I was about to think of saying. With Legends of Tomorrow, they had ample opportunity to basically say they got out of jail, like just drop a line on the Flash. They had ample opportunity to say that because they tried to recruit them, and they could during some sort of episode where they tried to call Supergirl and stuff. Like they could have just dropped a line, but that didn't happen. But I was going to say, during what can you imagine that if Superman and Lois ended on season 3 with that cliffhanger, we would riot.
Almost did.
I kind of like it. Like
I hate it.
Like to a point, if they would have like paused at a point, I kind of would have liked the idea of it. If it maybe you add some different music to it, you change the vibe a little bit. If it's more like looking upon the future, kind of like how Incredibles ends, right? When like the Underminer breaks from the skin, and it's like, all right, this is who I am. I'm Superman. And he goes, like that's such a baller final shot. If that is how you end it, if the implication isn't that he's dead, you know what I mean? Like if it's like, oh, this epic action shot to end it, then that's fine. But
where's this at? I'm trying to see where we are. Naruto here with the challenge super chat. Eric, did you end up seeing Hamilton? No, I couldn't find anywhere close by with it. I tried. There was nothing within a 1-day driving distance, so it just was impossible for me, which sucks. But I heard that people enjoyed it and it was really good, so that was good. If it ever does come back to theaters, I will probably travel a bit more to see it because I really want to. But this one, it like snuck up on me, and anywhere I could have traveled to was sold out. So, Lone Wolf of the Challenge super chat says, for Jake, more iconic, tread lightly or say my name.
Now say my name.
So that's it. That's his answer. I would say I agree with that. Anthony here, a member for 60 months. Thank you so much, Anthony. Let's be honest, Mark Pedowitz saved the CW. The CW, we could do a whole stream about the issues with the CW. I could spend hours and hours and hours. I feel like a portion of this panel are experts on the CW, and honestly, what happened with that over the years with the amount of time I spent on it.
A lot of years digging into it.
I covered the CW Arrowverse shows from the second year they were out all the way until the very end. So I know all the ins and outs of those fucking TV shows. The only season I didn't cover live was Arrow season 1. That's the only one. All the other ones I did.
I might or might not have had access to a pirated copy of that pilot.
Oh, geez.
I'm still heartbroken.
Too late. Can't do anything about it now.
I'm still heartbroken we didn't get that Babylon 5 reboot that we were supposed to get.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. Short Car says Superman fighting Doomsday at the moon is kind of a badass end. Well,
I mean, I would say like the only bright side to that is Superman's still alive.
Yeah.
And
I say this with full confidence. We will never get like a commitment from Paige to do anything other than to show up on the live streams. That's probably it.
So Eric, did you say that we were going to do 5 of those?
5 tonight, 5 on Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to get started here in a second because we're coming up on the 2 hour and 30-minute mark, and I said I wanted to give us at least 30 or 40 minutes to do it. All right, we got one more super chat, and then quickly we're going to talk about the Frank Grillo stuff because I think it's really funny.
And then we'll talk... Nice, a Fringe.
Yeah, I cannot speak more highly about a show from that era than Fringe. Like
I finished
Fringe
it last year. It's so good.
Okay,
so damn good.
Let me read the super chat, and then I got to say what I got to say. Right,
John Noble, man.
I remember Fringe season 4 was up in the air if it would end up getting renewed. So they filmed 2 endings, one open-ended and the other giving closure.
Yep.
I think the one thing about Fringe that I absolutely loved, and it was kind of pioneering this in terms of what TV is giving us 2 versions of the Earth that interacted with each other in the way that it did on that show. We had never had anything like that before.
No.
It was so cool. Everybody played alternate versions of themselves.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. I cannot recommend Fringe more. It is a really good watch on a binge. Really, really good. Yeah. I'd say it's better on a binge than it was watching it live week to week, to be completely honest. Because you start out with the show, you don't know where it's going, and then it just goes off the rails. I actually think Fringe is more logically thought out than Lost was, and I watched every season of Lost.
Oh God, don't remind me of that. Also, I'm confused about that super chat there.
Wait, the next one here?
Yeah.
Right here. Jake, want to say great shocker impression?
When did I do a shocker impression? If you're talking about like the 90s Spider-Man scream, when did I do that?
No, I think the voice you were doing, like I guess he was shocked by that impression, maybe.
No.
See, my mind went to the Wes Craven movie.
Oh, yeah.
the ends of the earth
was lost. Chris, please, we're not going to get into a lost discussion now because I could talk about that forever as well.
I can't do this right now because I'm just gonna get pissed off.
Like, yeah,
shows all the time.
I don't even want to say what I want to say and then end it because then it will make me want to say more about it. We could also do that about Heroes season 1 and everything after Heroes. We could do a whole conversation about that. I'm just not going. I'm not going to get into the Peter situation, okay, or the Siler situation. We're not going to do that.
Don't
on
get me
stream.
started about Heroes, man.
I have a feeling that that Jake and I would disagree on Heroes too.
Oh no! Oh no!
Just a gut feeling.
Yeah. It would take quite a big super chat for me to talk about any of those shows, to be quite honest right now. Like, it's so much I could say about it.
$50 super chat.
Biting my tongue. Let's make sure we're caught up on super chat. So anyway, thank you guys for hitting the goal. By the way, before we start talking about this other stuff, make sure you vote in the poll. Right now, best deaths in movies is winning the poll. So if you guys want to vote. I think all of those are really good categories.
Aaron's about to do a Lion King entry again.
Oh no! All right.
God.
Okay.
Maybe.
So there's a little bit of shade. This is kind of tongue in cheek, but I thought it'd be funny to talk about because Frank Grillo is always in the news for saying something. So Frank Grillo on the difference between working with Marvel and DC. The Russo brothers tend to be able or are more comfortable with directing on scripts that are not totally complete, which is not uncommon. With James, all the scripts are done in advance. Like, he always has something to say. I swear, this man, you would think that he is the most in the know person on Marvel and DC. Like, he's an actor he's got so much time working with both of these companies. I mean, fair enough with DC. He's done several projects with them, but with Marvel, he was in one movie and then barely in another movie.
He's in 3 movies.
Barely. Well, I mean, yeah, but like his biggest role was Winter Soldier.
He's in Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Endgame. Yeah.
Right. But both those other ones are very tiny roles.
What, Darren?
He's in Endgame? When?
So they redo the elevator scene, remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Hail Hydra.
I forgot about that.
I just saw a meme like yesterday that when he arrested Captain America in the Winter Soldier and when he arrested Superman in Superman, both times it was on the same street in Cleveland.
Yeah. Which I thought was pretty funny.
Shout out to Cleveland.
He likes arresting heroes, doesn't he?
He's just got to get the Ninja Turtles next.
He would have to half arrest them because they're teenagers in a half shell.
I need a sequel to that movie.
Oh my god! Seriously.
Batman movie. The Batman hero movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
So much fun.
So, all right. So the list tonight is we were going to do the 10. We're going to split it up over 2 nights. So it's going to be 5 tonight, 5 on Thursday. The 10, I believe, worst DC adaptations. And this can be any adaptation. So it can be comic books to cartoons, cartoons to live action. If they've done it before, cartoon to comics, live action to comics, however the order goes, you can do that. Whichever you want, because I want to make it more open for everybody. So we're gonna
not just heroes or villains.
Anything DC characters in general. So while people kind of get their list together for this, we got a super chat here, and then I'm gonna spin the wheel. Hot take: Fringe is a better version of the X-Files. I don't know if that's a hot take, because for me, the X-Files are hit or miss. There's good episodes of X-Files and bad episodes of X-Files.
Yeah.
Don't tell that to our phenomenon.
I was about to say that.
Can I get a quick clarification on the topic? Or when you say worst adaptation, are we talking of a particular character, or are we talking like a movie?
It can be. I believe the list was characters, adapted characters. So that means in any order. So cartoon to live action to cartoon, comic book to live action, any adaptation that you want to do. So it's pretty open. Yeah.
That's bad.
Top 5 best adapted characters in fiction.
Wait, I thought it was worst.
It is worst.
Oh, it's worst?
Yeah.
Yeah, worst.
It's like,
fuck.
Oh my gosh. His first one is Superman.
That would have been really funny. Yes, it's worst. I believe that's what we put in the chat, right? Wasn't that in the group chat or whatever?
Yeah, that's the worst.
All right, yeah. Gen V starts this week as well. It starts tomorrow. Yeah.
Are you bringing out the wheel again, or
I am bringing out the wheel? I am not on the wheel because I'm going to go last and give all of mine at one time, so everybody else will go in their order. And we're not gonna. What?
I said, why do you want to save the worst for last? Kidding.
Well, because it is the worst. So, here we go. Let's see. Oops.
Can you zoom out on that a little?
There we go.
Control minus.
I don't. The only thing that you see under that is the names. That's it. Yeah. So, Gen V season 2 got a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes already. Wow. All right. There was a little bit of news about it, but I'm going to save that for Thursday because then people have a chance to watch it before we talk about it. Because the news, I don't want to get into it's related to politics, and I want it tonight to be as light as possible. So, all right. So we're going to spin the wheel. Everybody's going to stay in their order, but remember where you are. Okay.
Oh, everybody's going to stay right here.
Where they are right now. Yeah, I'm not going to move people around. I'm not going to shuffle people around. Or maybe I will. Maybe I will shuffle people around. You never know what's going to happen here. All right. First up, we have the person who's making their list last is first. So unless Joe were to go somewhere else. So
I'm almost done.
Okay. All right. So was Joe number 1 last time?
No, I was dead last time.
Oh, that's right. All right.
I get the exact opposite.
All right. We're going to move people around. Why not? All right. There we go. Let's see. Shut up, Lance. You could get on here if you wanted. Damn
it.
Darren is second. All right.
I don't have to move him. You muted Darren.
Oh, Ronan.
It's always down to you two.
It hasn't been for weeks.
All right, chat. I want the chat to tell me, who do you think this is going to be?
Jake's
who do you think?
Well, everyone knows I have the best possible answers. So.
Oh, geez. All right. Actually, we'll do it this way, and that way we'll do it clockwise. I'll be last, so I'll be right here. All right. So what we're gonna do is have a good night, Darth Zen. Good to see you. All right. So we're gonna go through. This is worst adaptation. What I would like for everybody to do, because we are coming up on the 30-minute, we have 30 minutes basically to get this done if possible, is no honorable mentions. Literally, because we have 5 more to talk about on Thursday. So just stick with whatever's on your list, and if you have to swap some people out, swap them out. And in the chat tonight, the positive emoji is going to be burgers. So get your burger fingers ready. To throw burger fingers. Get your burger fingers ready to throw burgers for people that you like. And if you don't like them this week, instead of tomatoes,
tacos.
That's a good one. Why not? All right. So burgers are good. And tonight, even though I totally disagree, tacos are bad. So I love tacos, but we'll for tonight, burgers good, tacos bad. So nobody wants to get the taco tonight, even though it's technically Taco Tuesdays.
It's Taco Wednesday, technically.
That's true. It is for some people, not for Ronan.
I literally thought Taco Tuesday because I was thinking Tuesday.
All right. With that being said, Joe, you are up first with your first pick.
All right. Did you say we're starting with number 5? We're going to the worst?
You can do it in no particular order if you want, or in order, whatever order you want to do it in.
All right. Well, number 5, I'm going to go with the 1970s horrible TV special, Legends of the Superheroes.
Oh.
The depiction of Hawkman, in which his mother comes out and roasts him and mentions how she used to have to change the lining in his cage.
Was that Bill Knuckles?
I don't remember who played him, but it was pretty bad.
Oh,
jeez.
There was not much good about that TV special.
That's true. That's true. All right, good burgers, bad tacos, right, Chris? All right, Darren, what is your first pick?
My first pick. What to choose? I am going to start with our old friend Titans. There's a lot I could pick on this list. But to be frankly honest with you,
a lot.
I'm going to go, and again, I also want to press this, not the most knowledgeable about the comics. These are just takes on these characters I don't love from what I've seen.
That's fair. That's fair.
Scarecrow from season 3.
Oh
my God, what a terrible.
That was
also bad. If anybody disagrees, feel free to chime in and stand up for that. Die on that hill that you're.
He never wore his mask. You see it, but he never wore it.
There's like a second where I'm like, wait a minute, maybe they're. Oh nope, they're not. They fell down the hole. They like. There's a second where like season 3 almost becomes kind of good, and then it really does fall down that hill. And they have like. I'm not going to get into it because there's another person from the season that may be on this list, but like they're doing like 3 separate villains at once. None of them can fully commit to being the villain, and they all kind of suck. So that's my first one.
All right, and Ronan, what is your first pick?
I'm gonna go with Wonder Woman 1984.
Ooh,
that movie I was excited for. The trailers were so good. And again, COVID hit, and then we couldn't go see in the movie theater. I'm like, well, you know what? We'll watch it and at home. And it sucks we won't be able to experience a cinematic event,
right?
But we'll watch at home. Thank God I didn't spend whatever they're charging nowadays for tickets to go see that movie, because it started off like, oh, okay, cool, she's helping people at a mall, and then it was just like, wait, what? Pedro Pascal's becoming a MacGuffin, literally a MacGuffin.
Literally, yeah.
And then
I want to say I think the mall scene was probably my favorite scene of the whole movie. To be honest,
yeah. They had good homages to the Donner Superman movies, but man,
and it feels weird that like Pedro's the best performance in that movie, but his take is wild.
Yeah.
Listen, the whole thing of bringing back Steve Trevor in that regard, that's a choice. I'll never forget when she has to like let go, and he's like, "I'll always love you, Dinah," and she walks away. She's in the air. They start playing this type of track, this type of music that's always been used over and over and over again in trailers, and it took me out of the movie there. And I was like, "What the hell? What's the choice of this music?" And then, I was just shocked how much I was not into this movie. And it's like it's day and night compared to that first Wonder Woman movie. And I was like, wow. And again, Patty was gonna do Rogue Squadron. That didn't happen. And now I'm like, where is she? What's happened?
It's rumored that they're moving forward with it again recently.
Really? Well, I'll believe it when I start seeing
that were like, I don't know.
I
hope so, though.
I owe my television to Wonder Woman 84. I would not own the television behind me if it weren't for that movie.
I'm sorry.
Because my wife is a huge hardcore Wonder Woman fan, and the theaters were closed, and we had to watch it on HBO. And she said, if my first viewing of a Wonder Woman movie is going to be at home, we're buying a big-ass HD TV.
You know what, Joe? That is the same reason I have a big TV now. Not for Wonder Woman 84, but for watching a movie at home, because that was the whole reason we got it. Yeah.
That's so funny. I watched that shit on Christmas. I was so pissed.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Darren.
I was so mad.
You filthy animal.
What about you, 3Dub? What is your first pick?
My first pick is a character called Lex Luthor from the DCEU.
Oh.
Jolly Ranchers.
I like them.
Capes are coming.
You don't have to explain. I get it. We all get it. Unless somebody wants to die on the hill about how good he was. I don't know.
He was better than Spacey.
Any comments from anybody? No.
I like him.
He's worse than Stacy.
Wow. All right.
In my top 5 Lex Luthors, he's not even on the top 5. He's like 311.
Wow.
There's no way we're going to get to him.
Wow. All right.
You didn't like Spacey?
No, I didn't.
I mean, I don't like him personally for reasons.
Yeah.
but I liked him as Lex.
Jake, what is your first pick?
So I'll go ahead and go with the more obvious answer. So go ahead and say this one because I had a feeling I was the only one that would do it. Probably one of the most heartbreaking portrayals of a character I've ever seen, as someone who really likes this character. That's Wildcat from Arrow. Man, there have been.
Here we go again.
There have been not many times where I have been so just angry watching a TV. I remember because me and my buddies, we would get together and do like these, like weekly watch parties for Arrow episodes. As soon as Wildcat showed up in that ugly ass costume and just got his ass kicked so bad, not to mention the portrayal of Ted up until then wasn't exactly great. I stood up and just ranted for like 20 minutes about how much they just screwed that character over. Darren, I swear if you type peak Arrow in the chat again. I saw you looking over at your monitor. I'm like, no, we're not doing this again. But damn
there we go.
I know you too well. This is what happens. But no, I mean, God, that character is just so damn bad. I'm not even blaming J.R. Ramirez. It wasn't his fault. They just did not know what to do with that character. And you can make him a prime age character because, he's like, I don't have any problem with them making him that same age as somebody like, a Black Canary or a Green Arrow. Because yes, he's typically in like the generation above them. He's typically one of their contemporaries. I think Aaron just vanished. But he's typically in that generation above them. I didn't even mind putting him in the same generation, but God, they just butchered the character so badly. Which is why I'm hoping that some way, somehow, by some divine intervention, we eventually get the character done justice.
I think we will. I think it'll happen. All right, so that goes back to Joe.
All right. Next, I've got from the unaired Justice League pilot episode.
God.
David Ogden Stiers as Martian Manhunter.
Oh, God.
Oh, so bad.
Oh,
so bad.
No. Oh, I forgot about that episode. Oh.
Just terrible.
My mic just got randomly muted for no reason.
Is that the same one?
It says the host muted my mic. I'm literally the host, so I don't know what that even means. Like,
is that the
Skynet?
Is that the same pilot where they had John Cassier as the Atom?
Yep.
God. Oh, yeah, that was bad. That was just
all
terrible.
Right. Darren, what is your next choice?
Yeah, let's just continue down the line I've been going. I started with Scarecrow. Let's go Jason Todd from Titans as well.
Oh. Current, what is it? Current Walters or whatever his name is?
Listen, I tried to get behind this man. I did. Because at first, I loved how passionate this man was for the character. I love whenever an actor loves the character so much and they're willing to fight for it. And it was adorable for a while. But, like, I've never seen someone fight so badly for such a bad take on character. Like, he is fighting at all costs. And I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. He was never good. And I don't think it's his fault. I think it really does come down to the writing and what they were doing with him. And they really do skip over and take away really everything that makes Jason Todd so interesting. They take away, basically time jump the most fascinating aspects of that story and these characters. And he's so annoying. He's so fundamentally annoying. Almost every scene he's in, and I hate it because his suits look incredible. Like his Robin suit great suit, looks amazing, but like besides that, I just never worked for me.
All right. Well, anybody want to rebuttal that one, or are we good with that?
Nope.
Of what I saw, I didn't mind him, but again, I know Darren was watching the shows day and night, and I'm like, all right, if there's something that didn't work, I know he has valid reasons why.
If you were a Robin on Titans, you just got the shit into the stick.
That's true. All right. Ronan, what is your next choice?
This might
wait, actually, Ronan, hold on one second.
Go ahead.
So Lone Wolf did super chat. He has 5 if he can join. I will send you the link to join before I do my list, so you can jump on and just give your list. But since the panel's full, you can jump on, chat for a moment, and then we'll move on after that. But thank you for the super chat, Lone Wolf. We will add you then. So anyway, go ahead, Ronan. Sorry.
This might be a hot take. I don't know how people feel about it. Will Smith's Deadshot, I'm not too crazy about.
Oh.
I agree, honestly. I agree.
And it's not even like it's not that I hate Will Smith and whatnot. It's not that. It's just that like that's all I saw. I saw Will Smith all the time, and he barely. He sounds so nerdy. Like, oh my gosh, the nerds are picking one up. But like, there's something to say about a superstar, a global superstar like that, who has the cojones and the guts to disappear inside a mask. And I cannot recognize it, not figure. Oh, by the way, that's Will Smith, but that's Floyd Long.
Yeah,
Deadshot, and like, I looked at it now, and that's why I was a little worried when there were rumors of like maybe he might be in the Suicide Squad, and I was like, no, you have to recast it completely different. Like, give me like closer to an unknown or an actor who's more of a character actor, and and again, that movie, he was supposed to be the lead, but Margot Robbie steals that movie from him without even like breaking a sweat.
Yeah, he did not slap in that movie, I gotta say.
I was waiting for someone.
And I'll be honest too, Ronan, I know you haven't seen this, but the version of Deadshot that they adapt into Arrow is like 10 times better.
I've heard of this.
Put him off for Will Smith.
Don't remind me, Darren.
They killed off the whole team, actually. the whole cast of the Suicide Squad on Arrow.
Yeah, Tiger was the only one that got to live.
Yeah, they never. You know what? I'm not going.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, no, I knew exactly where you were going, and yeah.
A lot of questions with that character we never get, never talk about.
All right, 3Dub, what is your next choice?
My number 2 is also from the DCEU, and that is Ezra Miller's Flash.
Wow, I think we might. Is anybody on the panel going to rebuttal that one? Because I
don't mind his take in his movie. Again, I'm not saying I justify. You want to fight me, bro? I like his takes in that movie. And again, I told the boys I've only seen season 1 of Flash, and I dig that way better.
Yeah,
I love Ezra in the role. Obviously, much like Kevin Spacey, Ezra's problematic. But putting that aside, loved the movie. Loved the performance in Justice League. Now, it wasn't a good Barry Allen, though. I kind of felt like Ezra was maybe playing a little bit more Wally West.
Yep, I agree with that.
And not even a good one.
Yeah. I don't hate their Flash. There's nothing to love either. Like, it's just like, I kept waiting for him to prove his shot. And they do slightly in Zack Snyder Justice League. Like, he does have that fantastic scene at the end, but that's not enough for me to be like, I like his take on the character.
Yeah, if we could get, a Barry Allen that isn't a bumbling idiot, that'd be kind of nice.
Someone told me in the movie that the young Barry felt like more a Barry Allen than the other Barry felt like.
Yeah.
I'd have to watch it again. If I can bring myself to watch it again, I'd have to watch it again to see how I felt about that. I just, babies and microwaves, don't know if I can do it again. So, yeah.
It dinged.
Yeah. All right, Jake, what is your next choice?
I don't know where you go from that, but so
Wildcat 5 times.
don't tempt me. I'm gonna head over to Smallville now.
Oh,
and there's a lot.
Get ready.
I'm sure there's a lot.
Don't you do it, Jake? Don't you dare. Do it.
I'm not gonna do the one you're thinking.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I am. I'm sure there's other characters from this show I could include here, but I haven't seen the show in a long time, so I couldn't tell you how I felt about every single character. I do know that because this character appeared in the last season, I do remember how I felt about this character, and I could not imagine a more disappointing on-screen debut for a character. And that's Slade Wilson.
Oh, Slade Wilson.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking with him. They, instead of making him into this, this master assassin that, just is a take no names guy like you saw on Arrow, and to give it its credit, Titans, they understood the assignment when it came to Deathstroke. Titans just made him a hardened military general that hated vigilantes. You never saw him, put on a costume, which probably wouldn't have been much of a costume, knowing Smallville's reputation. Probably would have
been a jacket or a hoodie.
Probably would have just been an orange jacket, for God's sake.
Yeah,
but
it would be a Two-Face hoodie.
They just didn't know what to do with that character. They adapted him so horribly, and I love Deathstroke. He's like one of my favorite DC characters. And thankfully he got his due in live action later on. But man, for an on-screen debut, that was so damn bad. I had a feeling when I said Smallville, Darren thought I was going to go with another character, and I very well could have, because I think
There's
I know
two that I was thinking. Like, I don't know which one he's going to choose. Neither.
Well, see, the thing, Darren, depending on who you ask, and I'm one of those ones you could ask. There's a lot more than two you could go with.
Yeah, there's 10 spots, so we still have time.
All right,
this is going to be a shocker. I actually agree with Jake on this one.
I'm looking at my list, and only one of them has been said so far.
Okay.
So I'm okay at the moment. All right, Joe, what is your third pick?
All right, I'm going back to the same well, the Justice League pilot, and you guys may not know this about me, but my absolute favorite Green Lantern is Guy Gardner.
Oh,
and he made his live action debut in that Justice League pilot.
Yeah, he did.
Named Matthew Settle. And there was nothing about him that was even remotely like Guy Gardner.
Right.
They didn't even give him the bowl cut.
Yeah, he didn't have the bowl cut. He didn't have the personality. He was, it could have been any Green Lantern. So
before we move on from that, is it safe to say that you're very happy with the Guy Gardner we have right now in the DCU?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because I'm also a huge Firefly fan.
Right.
Wow, you gave me my favorite Green Lantern played by one of my favorite actors. Yes.
Right.
I look at that costume and the design right now, and I'm like, it looks like they wanted to mix Kyle Rayner with Guy Gardner. And it's like,
does have a little
I got that one over here too. I got
yeah.
It does have a little bit of Kyle's design elements to it. Yeah.
All right, Darren, what is your third pick?
I mean, let's just continue down the Titans train.
Okay.
Are they all from Titans? Jesus.
No, they're not. But we're just going to keep it in this.
I don't have anybody from Titans, so this is fine with me.
Let's just keep going with freaking Black Star.
Oh,
I'm so pissed what they did with Black Star. What a as someone who's not even that well, really all I know is
from the cartoon
series. Yeah, that's really all I even know. But I was so excited going in because I know she was kind of shafted in that show. She was shafted in the animated movies that they did with her, because there was supposed to be a third movie in that universe with Black Star as the villain. So I was like, this could be really, really cool. I really like the idea of bringing her in for a live action debut. I thought that transition would have been really cool.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what to do with that character.
No.
She's there for she's evil for an episode and a half, and it's okay, cool. And then she's instantly an anti-hero, and then she's a love interest for Connor, and then it's
that dumb shit with her and Starfire, yeah.
And then she goes home, or she leaves, and it's what was the point of literally any of that?
Yeah, and what was the point of that, particularly at that point of the show, because they were ending the series at that point.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And season 3, you had her as the villain, Red Hood, and Scarecrow. All three could have been their own separate villain. Outside of Scarecrow, I didn't really care about him. But especially Red Hood and Blackfire is why did you choose the same time to do both of them? That is two very personal villains for our team, and you wasted both. What? It's stupid. It's dumb.
Ronan, what is your third pick?
I'm gonna go back to the well of Suicide Squad, and I'm gonna go with Enchantress.
Yeah.
Now, what's her name? The actress Evangeline, something like that. It's not Evangeline Lilly. I forget her name. I don't blame her. And again, listen, to each their own, design wise, all that stuff. To me, I go back, and it's not even just about being faithful to the comics. There's something, if you go back to watch that, to go read or look at that old, the original Austrian run. Enchantress, it's just a normal design of a witch with the top hat, with the hat and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's something cool about seeing someone like that without a broom, and yet you just hone in on the character stuff of like how she's trying to battle this out and doesn't want nobody else getting hurt. And then you go into that movie and you see the dance the whole time that's happening when she's throwing out this stuff. And again, the whole plot of that movie is just like, I remember going to like, man, my son egoistic. I'm like, if James was doing that, and then you see how some stuff is improved on, in my opinion, with Suicide Squad, he would have been more faithful and it would have been more simpler. Don't go too bombastic. That is just, and yeah, I hope one day if they do Enchantress, just follow the comics. Just do a simple design and hone in on the character.
Yeah, you're talking about Cara Delevingne, right?
Yeah, she's not my issue. The issue is what they gave her and what they were asking her to do, and it's just like that's.
The end of that movie honestly made it feel like they were fighting Alien.
Yeah.
All right, 3Dub, you're up next.
My number 3, CW and DC in general do this character terribly all the time. They don't know what to do with him when they can't have him, and that is Batman from Gotham Knights. They kill him off. Basically, he's dead. That's the worst adaptation to Batman I've seen.
Isn't that the point of the story?
Yeah, but I hate it.
Okay.
Especially when he's wearing a freaking mask, like what do you call that thing?
Party City
cowl.
Party City. Party City
gotcha,
mask.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay, that I can be behind. I'm like, I agree with you that. That's ridiculous.
Oh, you mean what Batman would have looked like if he showed up in Smallville?
As someone who likes Gotham Knights quite a lot, I will say I do dislike how they interpret his character, because it's not like how he was just killed. Like, they were slowly dosing him with poison over years. And it is like, Batman would know. Like, I feel like Batman's not that stupid. And as someone who likes a lot of things they do later on, it's like, yeah, I would not have written it like that. That was a weird writing choice.
All right, Jake, you are up next. What is your third choice?
So I'm going to dive into the DC EU for this one.
Ooh.
This is my only one from here. And Adafin, I was probably safe for this character because, Adafin people on here would be basic and go for things like Lex Luthor and the Flash. I decided to go, a little bit more obscure. And I'm going with Doomsday.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, I will say, I do not mind the whole, using a dead Kryptonian's body, going the whole Dr. Frankenstein route to make him into Doomsday, because that has been done before in other media, and it's worked well. The main thing that killed Doomsday there for me with that is it looked like he was stripped of all of his defining features. And it's particularly embarrassing whenever you see certain versions of him later where low-budget TV makes him look phenomenal and a big-budget movie makes him look like dog shit. So that on its own is kind of heartbreaking. And there was never... again, it was forced into the moment. And granted, I get the whole story reason, and I get, like they want to do Death of Superman, but the design was just butt fuck ugly. It really took me out of the movie for a good chunk of it. And it's like, yeah, it's cool seeing the Trinity in action, but good God, like he looked like a Ninja Turtle had a baby with Predator. What the hell were they thinking? It was just really, really bad. And like I said, I don't mind the way he was formed because that's been done in other media and they did it well. but he looked ugly as shit in this movie, and not the kind of ugly where you're like, oh, that's really gross and cool and deformed and cool looking. It's like, what the hell am I looking at here?
All right, that brings us to Joe for his fourth choice here. What is your fourth pick?
This is from the Arrowverse. Makad Brooks as James Olsen.
Oh
yeah.
My issue here is, and I know that the easy low hanging fruit people will go for here is the race thing. Not even talking about the race thing. You changed his race, who gives a crap? It's that there's nothing about this character in the way he acts, the way he's depicted, that says Jimmy Olsen to me. Number one, he doesn't like to be called Jimmy.
Right.
They made him a ladies' man. Like Jimmy Olsen should be a little dorky. I mean, he was too cool, too suave. What about this guy was Jimmy Olsen?
You know what's funny about that, Joe? They took a lot of his character traits, they took a lot of character traits. Even the fact that this character ended up being Guardian. They basically took the Malcolm Duncan character, gave all of his comic traits, and then slapped Jimmy Olsen's name on it. That's essentially what they did in Supergirl.
Yeah,
he acts a lot more like Malcolm Duncan.
And I'll tell you, in the new Superman movie, they again made Jimmy Olsen like a ladies' man, but at least like that was done a little more ironically. Like nobody can figure it out, and they're all like, "What is this?" Like, wait, I don't know. I just was sitting there going, you went for name recognition, but I don't know that there's anyone who's going to be like, well, I wasn't going to watch this show, but Jimmy Olsen's in it. So now I feel like I have to. Like, I don't think you get that kind of name recognition from Jimmy Olsen.
To like almost try and play devil's advocate, and then I'll come back on your side for a second. Like, I'm personally fine if you're trying to redefine him and basically really reboot the character, right? Like, they were very much being like, we're taking the very plain premise that he's Superman's best friend and kind of rebooting everything else, which I would be okay with if they commit to doing literally anything with this character in any season. Like, each season feels like they were like spinning a wheel to be like, all right, which arc are we giving him this season? And they never commit to like any of them. So you are right with that.
All right, so Darren, would you like to go and give your next one, your number 4, or whatever way you're doing your list?
I'm going to do this one, but I do like this character as just kind of like a general vibe and a character. Like, I enjoy watching them on screen, but I can admit they're not a good adaptation of said character. This is from the Arrowverse, and I think especially with a movie that came out this year, there is like, it's like, yeah, I can admit that this is not a great take on the character. Mr. Terrific from Arrow. Again, I love Curtis. I think he's a fun character. He's like the side, goofy little fun tech character that can never win a fight to win his goddamn life. It is. I like Curtis. I do. But like, I can look at the comic side of things, and like, you know, the anime movies I've seen, I'm like, that's not him. He's kind of just wearing the skin of a character from the comics.
They made him into a less competent Felicity who can't fight, and that's Green Arrow's sidekick. Ronan's like, damn.
Ronan, next one.
So I'm gonna go with film, and I'm not too crazy about Batman and Harley Quinn.
Ooh.
And I remember I was pumped for it because what's her name from Big Bang Theory? Was cast
Haley
Harley.
Kuko.
Yes. No. Oh my gosh, what's her name?
Melissa Rauch.
Yes. And she is Harley. I dug what she did. It just, I remember going to that movie, watching and being like, I don't think I had fun with this one all the way. Like, the only thing I remember that I dug was how much I love her take on Harley. The fact that she and I'm not even trying to say this to be funny, but she and Dick, you know, it's implied that they had five free minutes, and then, you know, her and Poison Ivy went out. But I just remember it's kind of sad. I met Kevin, the great Kevin Conroy, before I had seen the movie, and I was glad I met him. And then I saw the movie, and I'm like,
same.
I don't know about this one.
Same, and I was like, ooh, I don't know about this.
Yeah, that's I'm not too crazy about that one. There's a lot of great animated stuff, and that was one of the first ones, and I was just like, I don't know about this as a whole. I don't know about this one.
What's worse, that or Killing Joke?
That I like Killing Joke. That's a hot take from mine. I like Killing Joke.
3Dub. What is your fourth one, 3Dub?
My fourth one is the most hated character in season 9 of The Flash, and that is Red Death.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, they were never gonna be good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying the worst. I'm not.
Oh, no. All 510 Red Death fans out there just got triggered.
I want to defend
500. That seems a little high.
I want to defend her so badly because whoever was directing that episode pisses me off because they clearly just didn't make her do the take again. Like she did it once, and they're like, "We're done." It's like, no, do it again because that was not a good take.
Yeah,
and,
I didn't finish her show, but looking at her episodes in The Flash, I was like, "There's no way she can be this bad for two full seasons of her own
she's
show."
Good. She is a good actress, which is why it's so depressing. Why it could have been a really cool arc. It has all the things are there that it could be cool, or a version of it can be cool. But
I mean, to make it a little more personal to Barry, because then Red Death in the comics is of course Bruce Wayne from Dark Knight's Metal with the Flash's subconscious inside him. Of course, Flash never met Bruce Wayne in the Arrowverse, so what they could have done to make it more personal, they could have Arrowvised it and have Stephen Amell play a version of the Red Death to make it a little more personal. I don't know if that would have worked necessarily, but I think it would have been a better idea than whatever that was.
I still, and I know they probably didn't want to because he, as soon as I casted her, she did some kind of weird tweets and stuff like that. But ideally, bring back Wallace Day. Barry does know Kate Kane, right? He has that connection with her. So bring in an alternate Kate Kane, and then Ryan has to help Barry take him. I think that would have been a much more interesting story and a much closer adaptation.
And she basically had the Red Death symbol on her suit when she
suit
went
was cool.
When she went nuts.
This suit was fine. It just looked really bulky.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. All right. Next up, what is your fourth choice?
Oh, is it me?
Yeah. Sure.
So I'm going. This is my last one for the Arrowverse. I guarantee no one was thinking about this one. And this actor once said that they hate playing this character, and I completely understand why, based on the way that this character was adapted.
Searching for all the characters it could be.
Darren's fast type. Who can I find? I guarantee you won't think of this. That is during the brief stint when David Harewood played Cyborg Superman.
Yeah.
I don't know what in God's name they were thinking with that. There's the obvious part that it doesn't look like Superman. Let's get that part out of the way. But also, he is just a nothing character. The design is actually pathetic. It looks worse than any attempt at a cyborg faceplate I've ever seen. The character essentially was just there for already not great action scenes. There was no development to him whatsoever, no connection to Kara, and again, there was no reason for him to call himself Cyborg Superman. It did not fit at all.
At all.
It was so bad, and there are things I liked about season 2, and that we got Tyler Hoechlin as Superman finally, but man, that Cyborg Superman stuff really made that season difficult for me to watch. I know it's not there very long, but man, it really left a bad mark on the season.
Season 2, man. Whew.
So before we go on to everybody's final choice, Lone Wolf, if you're still in the chat, I will send the link over, and then you'll jump on right before me. We'll say hi and stuff. You can give your choices, and then we'll just move on from there. But I'll have you on long enough to give your choices for coming on stream because we have to wrap up pretty quickly. But if you're still in the chat, just say something, and I'll send you the link. All right, Joe, what is your final choice?
Going back to Supergirl again.
No.
This is one of my I think this might be the worst adaptation of a comic book character of all time, personally. Much like James Olsen, no resemblance to the comic book character at all.
I think I know it.
Snapper Carr, played by Ian Gomez.
I remember that character.
In the comics, Snapper Carr was a young beatnik kid that was like the sidekick of the Justice League, and they turned him into a grizzled old newspaper.
Yeah, like the antithesis to Cat Grant's character.
Yeah, it's like, and again, if you're going for name recognition, who the hell recognizes the name Snapper Carr?
Right.
Right. Oh, I keep forgetting they adapted him. Oh. The only thing I remember he did that he kept calling Kara, like, what did he kept calling her, curls or whatever?
Yeah.
Something to that regard. Or was it curls or was it ponytail? Something like that.
Ponytails might be it.
Blondie?
That was bad.
My memory for season 1 and 2 Supergirl are gone.
I mean, apart from like the small thing here and there, it doesn't really get memorable until season 3.
Mm-hmm.
See, I would actually disagree. I liked season 1 and 2 and then hated it from 3 on.
That's crazy to me.
We're having like complete polar opposite takes tonight.
I like that though. People always say that everybody that comes in has the same opinion. I like when people have different opinions. It makes it more interesting.
Even the three of us, we don't have the same opinions.
Yeah.
Me and Jake disagree literally all the time.
Hey, Darren. Brave New World was better than Superman.
Leave.
So, Darren, what is your last choice?
Oh shit! Yeah, it is my turn, isn't it? Oh, okay. I'm ready to. I guess I'm gonna piss some people off.
Oh no! Here we go.
This is kind of in line with like 3Dub's choice a little bit, where it's like it's the point of the story that this character is like that, but I just don't like it and I don't enjoy it. And I'd argue this storyline is probably the single worst thing to happen to DC, or let me roll back here just really quickly. I think this storyline ruined DC's reputation in a lot of ways.
All right.
Injustice Superman, I am just simply not a fan personally. I think, again, cool concept. I'm not putting that against them. Obviously, it can be cool to see an evil version of Superman or a darkened version of Superman. That's just not my.
Are you talking about like the game version?
The game, the movie, the storyline in general, like what I
just the concept of that being
concept of it. I am just personally not a fan of that take on Superman. Now, is it a bad take? Not necessarily. Like, that's what Elseworld is for. That's the point of those storylines where you can explore these various interesting topics. That's fine. I just don't like it. That's not how I view the character. And the problem with it is that is so many people's introduction to DC and representation of DC, where it's like, oh, I don't watch a lot of DC movies, but I play the Injustice game. And that is Superman to people. Yeah, like people blame like Henry Cavill's take on the characters.
Right, it's not his fault.
No, it's Injustice. It's Injustice Superman, and then all your like Homelanders and stuff that's parodied him over the years.
Omni-Man,
they did that shit.
Yeah,
and again, not a bad take on the character. I get it. That's literally the whole point. I just don't enjoy it personally.
All right. With that being said, Ronan, what is your final choice for tonight? Because we will be doing 5 more of these on Thursday. So,
I thought about changing mine right now for a different one. I'm like, with that take, because I agree with some of that notion. But no, I'll stick with it because this one should be interesting. I'm not too crazy of Ewan McGregor's Black Mask.
Oh,
I'm not too crazy about it. Not because the character is gay, not because it's Ewan McGregor. It's just, again, it's almost like a similar thing of like, I only saw Obi-Wan Kenobi. I didn't see.
Oh, so you couldn't separate the actor from the roles or whatever.
And all I saw was the different sides of Ewan, but like I couldn't, and it's weird. I've told this to Jake and Darren that like initially I didn't like the movie as much. I thought I had fun with it here and there, but I'm like, that's not the Birds of Prey thing I wanted to see. I revisited again, seeing if it got better. It did. I really liked that movie a lot. It's in my top 3-5 DCU movies. But Black Mask is the one thing that I'm like, that's not the strongest side of it. And like those ladies carry that film On both.
I hate they killed him off.
shoulders.
That was stupid.
Give me like Under the Red Hood Black Mask and put that in the DCU.
And that's what I've only known about it. Just him like freaking out and be like, "Everybody get out!" and hiring assassins to like go and do his bidding and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm not too crazy about that one.
All right, 3Dub, what is your final choice?
I hated how this character was her story, how she developed throughout the series, and this is Virtue.
Oh,
From
Cecile?
Cecile.
Okay.
Well,
I like
Virtue is such
one
a
and
weird
two.
adaptation because it's not even really the same character. It's so weird.
No, it's not.
So weird that they
Just
did that.
Gave her name.
Yeah.
She was the
Yeah.
plot device of the Flash.
She was, well, for the final 3 seasons, she kind of was. She was the MacGuffin character for the whole
because
season.
I mean,
She
and,
kept
and
feeling feelings.
Fly now?
it's like, hey, you know, let's make it to where our actors don't actually have to do their job and act and show.
Well, her
the audience
powers
what we're
were
trying
whatever
to
they needed
convey.
them to be.
Let's
I
just,
hated
let's
her
just have
sound
this
effect
character
too.
tell everyone what they're supposed to.
Like, it was just too much for me. I couldn't take it. And actually, I didn't care about her in the beginning, and then I really liked her when they were having her fill in for Jesse when he hurt himself, and I thought she did a good job there. And then it was like we like her so much that we want to use her even more, but they didn't know what to do with her, so they just gave her these weird powers. Like, it's just, what are we doing? And yes, weird adaptation of a character.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think that she started all the way back in season 1.
Season 1.
Dalton gave me tacos because it's the easiest. I'm like, it's the worst. She's the worst.
All right, Jake, what is your
I'm not
last
gonna lie.
choice?
So I am going over, and there's a lot of ones I could pick from this also. I'm going to Gotham for this one.
Okay.
And this one is, wait, what, Darren?
There's probably a couple you can pick there too.
Oh yeah. And
There's quite a few.
this one was especially disappointing because for one singular episode, I liked this character. I liked what they were doing.
For one episode.
For one episode.
Okay.
And then after that episode ended, there was no reason for them to do what they did and what they continued to do, and the character just quite literally lost their mind. And that's Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because everybody who knows Mr. Freeze knows what the core of his motivation is. He does whatever to save his wife Nora. He will cross whatever line is there if it means his wife is safe. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Gotham. But in the debut episode of Mr. Freeze, you know, whenever you see him and Nora dies at the end of that episode. So his motivation for really doing anything has gone. He should just be a recluse and, you know, like keeping to his own devices because he's really not a villain at the end of the day.
Right.
The fact that he continued to work with those villains repeatedly after Nora was gone was just so out of character for Mr. Freeze and took away everything that made him good in his debut episode. Because I was kind of connecting with the character in the first episode. You see him and it's like, okay, he's rash, he's impulsive, but it makes sense because he is just desperate to save his wife and he'll cross any line. But there was no reason for him to exist as a character after that episode, and he just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
Well, fair enough.
There's a lot I could have picked from that show, but that's the one that got me, at least off the top of my head, with the exception of one other, that's the one that got me the most upset.
All right, so in the chat, we have a very special guest. We're going to bring him up to say hello and to give his choices very quickly. Never done this before. I've never had anybody ask to do this. So we're going to bring up Lone Wolf from the chat to give his 5, because he's got 5 here. I don't know if he's going to have similar ones to everybody else or if he's got completely different ones. I don't know. But let's bring him up in the chat. So everybody in the chat, give a shout out to Lone Wolf for coming on. Hopefully his audio works okay. He said he had some issues, so we'll see. So Lone Wolf has arrived. You there? Hello. Welcome to the show. Longtime viewer in the chat. Glad to have you here, Lone Wolf. Everybody in the chat, give Lone Wolf a shout out while he's in here. So now that you're here, you said you have 5 that you wanted to drop. So go ahead and tell us your 5 and brief reasons why. What happened? Are you there? Hello?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I can I have to say these really quickly because I do have to get back inside and take care of my daughter, so
All right.
I can't take this too long.
Okay.
But number 5, I want to say is Jared Leto's Joker. It's just awful. I can't stand that performance. I hated that one so much.
Let's get crazy.
Yeah, no, it's cringe. Number 4, which I don't. This one was just bad. I really don't have anything to like elaborate on. But that is the last Jonah Hex movie.
Oh.
If anybody remembers that from like 2010.
Oof. Sadly.
Number 3, I gotta go with Catwoman.
Yeah.
I'm
assuming you mean the Halle Berry Catwoman, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
It's just really bad. It's just that movie I had to stop midway and I was just like, I'm cringing so hard.
All right. Fair enough.
Number 2. This one was I think so. Okay, Jake, you kind of mentioned this one, but I'm gonna bring a different version. Mr. Freeze, but played by Arnold.
Oh,
you could have done that
there
too.
are some comedic elements. Yes, there are moments that I find funny, and I did watch that a lot when I was a kid. But the older I got, I was like, this movie's really bad, and I couldn't take it anymore. And then before I get to number 1, I do want to mention one honorable mention.
Okay,
it'll be very brief. Honorable mention I want to say is Bane from the Batman movie.
The Nolan one?
Wait,
the old one.
Oh, the one from the 90s. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Batman Robin.
Because he was just a rotting jock who had no personality, and he was just very stupid. Yes. And my number 1 has to be Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face.
Oh, that was almost on my list, so I'm not surprised. That was almost on my list. That's a rough one. I like Tommy Lee Jones, but I understand. So, all right, chat. Go ahead.
I like him. No, you're fine. I like Tommy Lee Jones, but man, that performance was so bad because he's just the Two-Face. There was like only one scene of him being a good guy, and then or not a good guy, but you hear the other side of him for one moment. And then after that, it's just he's back to maniacal man and then falls down in the water and dies.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it.
You get a little bit more of him if you watch the Red Book edition of Batman Forever.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay. I didn't know that.
So anyway, thank you, Lone Wolf, for jumping on and giving us your list. And we should have you on again sometime soon, whenever you have some time. I appreciate it.
Sure, you're welcome. I'd love to come back.
All right, chat. Give him a shout out. Thank you again, Lone Wolf, and get back inside. Take care of your daughter. So we'll chat soon. All right, there we go. Thank you so much. Low Watermark swinging in with a $10 super chat just to say hello. Hey, Low Watermark, it's good to see you. It's been a while. We haven't chatted. You're not around anymore. Where are you, Low Watermark?
Where's High Watermark?
Where's Medium Watermark? All right, so here is my quick 5, and then we're gonna see where the poll is, and then we're gonna head out. So my 5, in no particular order, is going to be Steel from the 1997 movie.
I was thinking about it.
What a weird movie. Like, if you subtract the fact that it's supposed to be a Superman type film, it's not bad. It's a funny 90s movie. But comparing it to like the actual John Henry Irons from the comics, there's just no comparison whatsoever. Thank goodness we got the version we got in Superman and Lois, because what a better version.
He's the only actual character from comics that's in that movie. Everyone else is made up an original.
Yeah. Number 4 is from Arrow, and particularly the later seasons, and that is, and not the actor, the character. I think the actor is incredible. Ricardo Diaz, the Dragon, Richard the Dragon. I did not like the way his story wrapped up when the last time we saw him.
Yeah.
So,
if his story would have ended during the prison fight with Oliver, that would have been a way more satisfying conclusion.
Yeah,
it blew him up.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Darren, it makes sense. I'll push back. I won't spoil this for Ronan because he hasn't seen it. But the way that his story does wrap up, knowing what he does to a character from his past, the fact that his story ends that way kind of makes sense.
Yes, except I thought he was very misused after the initial season that we saw him in.
He definitely was misused.
I wish there was more like intent with it. It was like, okay, it happened. All right,
because he's one of the best fighters in DC, and in the show,
yes, that's what I was expecting to see. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
Number 3 may or may not be a hot take, and this one might actually be on someone else's list, so I do apologize if it's on your list for Thursday. But that is, and I love this actor, but hate his version of the movie. That's the 2011 Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. Like, as a one-off movie, it's fine. I think he's okay in the role, but he is not Hal Jordan. Like, not at all for me. I just feel like he's not.
It sucks because I think he could be.
He could.
Like, I think he has, like, when he, and I know it sucks because he's literally just Ryan Reynolds, but I love the, like, commercial that he did with Grant, and when it's, like, him and Jordan, and I was like,
I think Sinestro was incredible, but Hal Jordan not so much. Sinestro was incredible. Hal Jordan.
I think if he was given a second chance, he might have pulled it off because he got a second chance with Deadpool, and he pulled it off.
I'm ready to see what they're going to do with Hal in the DCU. I'm ready to see what they're going to do with that character as an older character.
I'm comfortable with Kyle Chandler.
Yeah, I feel comfortable with that. And number 2 is not Mr. Freeze, but from the same movie, from Batman and Robin. And I'm going to say Robin in that movie for me was not good. It's not the bat nipples because I'm down for bat nipples like all day, every day, bat nipple power. But like I just didn't like that interpretation. Chris O'Donnell. Look, you could probably go through that movie and pick out a ton of people that weren't right. He was one that just stood out to me where I just did not like that version. And so, yeah, it didn't work. That movie is so campy and over the top that you almost can't even take it seriously. But
I think he's fine forever.
I mean,
yeah, I would say it's okay.
He's all right as a cop on NCIS LA. So, I mean.
My number 1 is a character that I hate to mention because I think this character got better somewhere else, but was actually absolutely awful in the season that we met them in, and that is Damien Dark on Arrow season 4. That character was nothing like the one in the comics to begin with, like just in Arrow season 4. Plus, he didn't fit the vibe of Arrow. It just didn't work. Once he got to Legends, he was a million times better, but still not a good version of Damien Dark, but much better character for the Arrowverse. I did not like him in Arrow season 4. And so that's why I put him on my list.
I mean,
so
legitimate question. Are there any actual fans of comic Damien Dark? Because he's not that compelling of a character.
No, I don't think he's an incredible character in the comics, but not, I don't. So my issue with his adaptation is he just wasn't right in that show, in that role. So for me, it doesn't even matter if he was the fidelity was the same from the comics. I would be like, I don't care anyway. I just don't think he was right on the show. So
I will say though, the bit in Legends where he does the musical number, and
that's my favorite part of Legends. That is my favorite Damien Dark scene. Return of the Mac, goated. I probably watched that scene.
Yeah,
I don't even know how many times. Anytime I play it at the club, I don't even think of Mark Morrison, the person that sings the song. I think of Damien Dark anytime I play that song.
The references there go over so many people's heads.
Yeah, no, it's so good.
It's so crazy. He somehow works better on both Legends and the Flash. Like,
yeah,
I still stand by this.
Flash.
Yeah,
I stand by this. If you swap Cicada and Damien Dark on each other's show, like I think Cicada works as a better Arrow villain.
Oh, I can't wait to hear the rest of this list on Thursday. There's
Damien
probably
Dark
going to be some
Flash villain.
really, really, really good ones as we go down the rabbit hole.
Arrow had a powered villain from the comics that they could have used instead of Damien Dark, but they
how about utilizing the longbow hunters instead of like making them secondary characters? That would have been important, you know.
Or you could actually do the proper Count Vertigo instead of making them straight drug dealers.
And they did 2 of them, and they both.
They did 2 of them.
Yeah.
They made one of them Oliver's Joker, and they made one of them basically a Scarecrow.
Right.
Wow.
All right. So Staggervore 199 super chat. Hot take: Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam.
I have thought about that because
I don't disagree.
If Dwayne had the mentality of what he's doing now with Smash Machine, I feel like he could have pulled off Black Adam. Something as simple as an accent, something as simple as like the ears, and like if it was less Dwayne and more Black Adam, I would have been there right there for him. And again, it's long in development since I was in middle school, probably.
Yeah.
this movie. I went to go support and be like, "Yo, do it! Come on, man, bring it home!" And I kept saying the JSA was the best part of that movie.
It should have just been a JSA movie.
It should have, but hot take. Might be a hot take even more than that take itself. Is I actually think the Black Adam movie and the cast that they had, if they would have done it as a JSA movie in the DCU, it would have been a million times better because they would have leaned into the fun more. I think.
I thought he was fine as Black Adam, but I was just angry because I love Shazam. Like Shazam is my favorite DC movie. The first Shazam, my favorite DC movie.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody was clamoring for Black Adam versus Superman.
No.
You want Black Adam versus Shazam.
Yes.
And he kept trying to push a thing that didn't make a whole lot of sense. And he undercut the other movies because like he was supposed to be in Shazam 2 and he wouldn't do it.
Right.
You know, and it's like you hurt the Shazam movie too.
And you hurt yourself. You hurt your own movie too.
I hated how heroic they made him in that movie, especially how many times in the movie he said, "I'm not a hero." It's like you kind of ended up being one of the most heroic figures here, to the point where the people that you're ruling over in Kahndaq are championing for you to take the throne. Versus you look at Black Adam in the comics, who rules Kahndaq with an iron fist. He is a dictator. For God's sakes, he is by no means a hero.
I wish he would have seen, again, timetables and all that stuff. If Dwayne and the team behind Black Adam had seen what Colin had done with Oz and the Penguin, that's what you do with a villain.
Right.
You make
He's
me intrigued. You make me follow him and be like, maybe I want to root for him. Right. And then at the end of it, you pull the rug on me and be like, remember, he's a villain.
There's nothing about being a lead character that says your lead character has to be a good person.
Sympathetic or anything like that. Just like, no, be interesting. Be interesting. And the fact that like the soundtrack, the needle drops. Anyways, I can go on.
The part of me that's just pissed off at Dwayne Johnson really kind of wants to see James Gunn cast the guy who replaced Dwayne Johnson in Scorpion King 2 as Black Adam.
Joe's got to jump out, so thank you for being here, Joe. I appreciate you hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you can join anytime, so definitely thank you so much for being here.
Have a good night.
Good night, man.
Bye.
Also to give a shout out, I don't know if I did this earlier, but Staggervore dropped 3.99 super chats.
Hell yeah.
I can't remember if I did that or not, but I want to make sure I said something. So thank you, Staggervore, and pretty much everybody that donated tonight. I really do appreciate it.
Including Darren.
Well, Jason,
including Darren,
to your point down there, Jason, I feel like if The Rock was as big of a fan as the Black Adam as he claims to be, which I still have a hard time believing, I feel like he would have realized he's not right for the role.
Yeah.
Wait, he said Black Adam was his favorite superhero?
Yes, he did. Yes, he said that.
Or at least he could have been. Again, maybe now it's in hindsight what he's learning to do with his career is like if he had that approach, that would have been the thing and whatnot. That would have been the way to lean into it and figure out a way to bring that character to life. Like, if Jason Momoa says he loves Lobo, I could buy that. Those two people, Lobo and Jason have so much in common between the motorbikes, the drinking, and the cigars. Like that is,
he is Lobo.
Yeah.
I think and like I fall into this too, where it's so easy to think you like something, even if you actually don't. Like it's very easy to trick yourself into it. I do that with comics and stuff like that and stuff all the time, where I'm like, oh man, I love Flashpoint. I think it's so cool. Blah blah blah. It's like, hey, have you ever read Flashpoint? It's like, no, but it's cool. You know what I mean? So like, it's so easy to do that.
And didn't you say you hated the Flash at first after watching that movie?
I hated the movie. I just use that as like an example that like it's so easy to me. Like I love the like Ninja Turtles, the Last Ronin storyline. That's awesome. It's like, but you haven't read it. It's like, yeah, but it's still cool. Like I could see that being a similar thing where like he's been around Black Adam. He's seen the cover. He's like, well, that I relate to that. Maybe he's read some issues of it, but so it's so easy to fall into those traps sometimes. And if I was a betting man, I'd wonder if maybe that's kind of the situation Dwayne Johnson kind of fell into.
Maybe. All right. Do we want to see what the poll selected for us for our Monday topic?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's see.
I'm guessing it's the deaths.
Let's see what we got here. We're ending the poll, and because we hit it, Yeah, this was very close tonight. I came up with some really good categories. Worst film sequels actually got the lowest with 16%. Wasn't the closest. The other three were pretty close. Best deaths in movies won with 32%. So we're going to talk best death in movies. Women in comics came in second with 28, and worst on-screen relationships with 24. So we may revisit those other topics in another stream since it seems like they're very popular. But best deaths in movies, top 5 best death in movies will be our list on Monday. So we'll be doing that one on Monday. But thank you guys, everybody.
I feel like you can't call it the best because we should be crying. It should be the saddest death.
Nope. That's our best part of a movie.
Top 5 saddest death.
If you can successfully pull off a good death scene, it's one of my favorite things a movie or show can do. Easily.
Yeah, I agree. So Cameron says, did I see Gotham is leaving HBO Max at the end of the month? No.
Yep, it sure is.
Where's it going to go? Prime, Roku, Tubi? Like, what are they going to do with it?
Probably Tubi.
My issue is this is your IP.
Yep.
Like, this is your like the whole point of consolidating a streaming service is so you can take all that IP and put it in one place so that everybody can go and watch it. So now we're back to hunting things down. This is all prior to the Warner Brothers Discovery merger when HBO Max was put together specifically for this reason.
Well, they've already done that with a number of their DC IPs. So, like a number of things that were already on HBO Max got the axe. So, didn't Teen Titans get kicked off?
Yeah. Yeah, Titans is on like Roku or Tubi now, or Plex, or whatever the hell that.
Who uses Plex anymore?
When HBO Max first launched, I legitimately said they were the best in the game. Right?
Yeah, it was like all the catalog of good stuff.
Their catalog, they were the home of DC, the home of Cartoon Network, the home of Harry Potter, the home of all of the classic Warner Brothers movies. Their catalog was undeniably some of the best in the game. They instantly put, to me at least, Netflix at competition very instantly.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a lot of great pitch, plus everything you're bringing over from HBO, Game of Thrones, and all these things, and plus new original DC stuff was come. It was like, how is anyone going to beat you? And now, arguably, the worst streaming service, or up there is like one of the weaker streaming services because you don't have any original content, really, that's not HBO. Your catalog is literally every there and barely anything on there now. It's like really how the mighty have fallen.
Chris says, Eric, you're preaching to the choir. Tell that to Zaslav. He'll keep ignoring you. Yeah, they don't care. Well, the problem is that he is financially helped the investors for the company and the top end people. So none of the stuff that affects the fandom matters to him. None of that matters.
Nope.
So Lone Wolf with the super chat saying, this is for you, Chris, saying I smoked the panel. Well, sometimes a guest will come on and take the wind out of our sails. It is what it is. I appreciate you coming on, Lone Wolf, and super chatting as well. It does mean a lot. With that being said, we are going to close out the stream. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks Joe for hanging out. He had to run early. Check him out at Crazy Joe's Concession Stand and Crazy Joe's Adventures here on YouTube. Check out Grover's channel, subscribe. I don't know if he live streams or not. I know he makes videos, but I don't know if he live streams or not. Make sure you follow 3Dub. You guys probably already do because he's here a lot. Jake as well for being here on his 7 p.m. Sunday streams on Jake's Lost Levels, where he is Jake and he's going into Lost Levels. So check that out. 7 o'clock on Sundays. Ronan Unchained, always a pleasure having you here with us. Definitely check out Ronan's channel. His live streams are still on Fridays, I believe, but I'm not sure what the time is anymore.
Friday evenings, either earlier or later at night.
Okay.
And on Sunday, we're going to be doing a 2-year anniversary celebration of Andor premiering.
Oh, okay. That sounds like fun.
What time?
What
For
time?
Andor?
Yeah.
Probably like 7 p.m. PST.
Okay.
Damn it. I was going to say, if it was before mine, I would have so joined on that.
Yeah.
Darren also with the Pipeline podcast, after the credits, before the credits, behind the pipeline, Super Mario Galaxy, the movie, all of that. You can check him out on his channel. Go show him some love over there. He's also, I guess, are you a bigger member of the Party Nation now? Are you like producing it or something? Like, what is your role over there? Are you just a co-host or like what's the deal?
Ambassador.
Same as normal. Yeah.
I was gonna say because Lance made it seem like you've leveled up whatever it is you're responsible for doing. So I don't know.
Eric, don't say level up because I get PTSD to those bad Flash seasons every 5-10 minutes when they said that, and I don't want to think about that.
Leveled
anymore.
up. Was it season 7 or 8 when they did that?
They continued to do it in both of them.
Yeah, 8 was the big one where they're saying it every like 2 seconds. It's like, dear God.
At least they're not saying mommy and daddy and
stuff. Oh no, don't bring that back. Don't bring that back. Anyway, thanks everybody. Before I jump out of here, make sure you leave a like on the video, whether you're watching on Debunks or Reloaded. We had over 120 people in here tonight watching, so definitely hit those likes up, get us in the algorithm. I do appreciate it. And we will see everyone again on Thursday. Don't forget the I'm Bored merch. It will be available on the channel for you guys to get if you would like to, at the bottom in the link section. Because Teespring is going away. So if you want to get the shirt, hang out in the channel and we'll get the link to you soon. I dropped it earlier, but we'll drop it again at a certain point. Anyway, thanks everybody and have a good night. We're going to end the stream awkwardly right now. So good